Pirates awakened Conqueror at the beginning. Chapter 1 to 20. Chapter 1 Conqueror Hockey shows prestige. New World. On the shore of the island, the pirate flag on the mast fluttered in the wind. The crossed samurai sword had a ferocious skull pattern in the center, and there were 2 red claw marks on the skull's eyes that were as dark as the abyss of the night. Standing on the pirate ship, you can vaguely hear the deafening sound of the blood-boiling fighting in the island. Kill 91 people. Kill 92 people. Kill 93 people. ... A handsome young man with red eyes, his whole body was vaguely sullen. At this time, Baizi's virtual panel appeared in front of Baizi's eyes. The record of killing pirates again and again was the same as spawning monsters in the wild. That's Baizi, one of our red-haired pirates' interns a week ago. Vice Captain Ben Beckman said, facing Usopp next to him, with a curved corner of his mouth. Well, Vice Captain, this kid named Baizi is more excited than anyone else when he sees a fight. It's good to be young. Looking at the dozens of pirates holding a samurai sword, he sighed with emotion, and his eyes flickered. With a trace of envy, he also has the blood of the past. It is said that Teach, a member of the 2nd Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, attacked and killed the captain of the 4th Division. The captain takes this matter very seriously. Teach has great ambitions. I am afraid that there will be bloody storms at sea soon. Looking at the field, Ben Beckman's mind came to the picture of their captain Redhair and Blackbeard fighting. Although their captain underestimated the enemy, the strength of Blackbeard really surprised them, otherwise their pirate flag would not have been displayed. There are 2 more red claw marks. Before that, I hope these fresh blood can grow up and even be able to take charge of themselves in the future. When Ben Beckman was worried, Baizi's eyes became even more scarlet. Kill 98 people. Kill 99 people. Ding! Congratulations to the host for killing 100 people and successfully binding the killing upgrade system after completing 100 consecutive kills. The system is being activated. Done. Baizi's heart was overjoyed, his eyes were shining brightly, and the system was activated. He is not from this world, but came to this pirate world a week ago, a world that Baizi dreamed of coming to. After he came to this world, he was hit by the system, but before that, he had to kill 100 people to activate the system. Fortunately, a week ago, the red-haired pirates happened to recruit soldiers and have been attacking the red-haired pirates. Baizi, who I liked more, just joined the red-hair pirates to activate the system. After a week of fighting, Baizi finally killed 100 people and activated the killing upgrade and system. The killing upgrade system has been successfully activated. With this system, the host can become the strongest man in the pirate world in the shortest possible time. This system is dedicated to serving the host. As long as the host fights against the strong, or hangs and kills pirates, this system will reward the host with treasure chests according to the results. The stronger the opponents who fight or kill, the richer the treasure chest rewards. Nani. As long as you kill people, you can become stronger. No matter whether the soldiers or the 4 emperors can explode the treasure chest, this is not bad. It is indeed a golden finger that is necessary for travelers, this operation tisk tisk tilde tilde. Ding! Since the host is bound to this system for the first time, this system will reward the host awakening Conqueror Hockey. Pa! Conqueror Hockey! As soon as the system said this, it really shocked Baizi. Mother, Conqueror Hockey, that is, according to rumors, there is only one lucky person out of 1 million people, and even with the qualifications of Conqueror Hockey, he may not be able to awaken. This Nima, interesting enough. Motherfucker, Conqueror Hockey, as far as he knows, the only red-haired one who has awakened Conqueror Hockey on the red-haired pirate ship. Ding! In view of the fact that the host has completed 100 kills in a week, the system will reward the host with 1 shake fruit. Note, this system provides shake fruit that is not afraid of water and sea stone. Quote. Tilde tilde tilde. Shake, shake the fruit. Hearing the system's prompt, Baizi's mind roared. In his impression, the devil fruit in the pirate world should be the only one. Although it has not been confirmed, it has been accepted by everyone. It's just a shock to himself. Fruit, what the hell is that meow? Also, don't be afraid of water and sea stone, mother, you must know that water and sea stone can be said to be the nemesis of devil fruit owners, and now that Quake fruit that he owns has no weak underbelly, doesn't it mean that the machines this Junjun fruit is even more dick than Whitebeard? Damn the system, this is the rhythm of making oneself immortal. In this case, use Junjun fruit, he said secretly in his heart, and Baizi felt as if his whole body had been baptized with holy water. His spirit was instantly refreshed, and a series of information about the use of Junjun fruit appeared in his mind. Ah, Baizi, be careful. On the other side, Kuro Star, who came to the Red Hair Pirates as trainees with Baizi, screamed and reminded. When Baizi came back to his senses, he saw a vicious pirate with a ferocious face, holding a samurai sword, falling from the sky and slashing head to head. With a ruthless slash, Baizi was about to be split in half. Extremely critical. Baizi's subconscious Conqueror haki burst open. Thump. Without the slightest hesitation, the pirate, who was about to split Baizi in half, slammed his eyes and fell softly to the ground. Not only this pirate, after a pause of 0.1 seconds. Thump. 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 Other pirates, whether the enemy or the trainee in the Red Hair Pirates, even some members of the Red Hair Pirates didn't pay attention, they rolled their eyes and passed out. In the blink of an eye, only Baizi, Ben Beckman, and many officials of the Red Hair Pirates stood on the field. Swish. Swish swish. More than a dozen eyes stared at Baizi in the field. With him at the center, everyone was unconscious, and their eyes were white. Especially Ben Beckman. Ben Beckman, who was originally doing talent discovery, gave Biao a slap, his eyes filled with endless disbelief. It was just Conqueror. That's right, that's Conqueror haki. As the deputy captain of the red-haired pirates, Ben Beckman's combat power is comparable to that of a red-haired existence. He has never seen anything. There is only one lucky conqueror among millions of people. Appeared as an intern in their Red Hair Pirates. Psi tilde. What? How? Possible. Conqueror haki, like the captain, is far less powerful than the captain, but Conqueror haki can grow tilde. The cadres of the red-haired pirates have their eyes fixed. They can't believe what they see in front of them. An intern on their ship has Conqueror haki. Chapter 2 _ Challenge Ben Beckman, new book for collection. Close black lens bracket. Conqueror haki. Everyone, including Ben Beckman, was shocked by the sudden appearance of Conqueror haki on the field. After more than a minute, the comatose pirates lying on the ground woke up again one by one, completely unaware of what happened. Conqueror haki can shock or stun the enemy with its own spirit, but if the control is not good, it will implicate the people around it, that is, the enemy, and the enemy will not be separated, just like Baizi, who has just awakened, Conqueror haki. He stunned the enemy with Conqueror haki, but all his comrades, including Kuro Star, were also knocked out in seconds. The eyes of all the cadres around looking at Baizi again changed. Joke. That is having a Conqueror haki, but anyone who has a Conqueror haki will achieve absolutely unimaginable future achievements. Just like their captain, the red-haired Shanks. The original Shanks was just an intern on the Gul D. Roger ship, because of his awakening. With Conqueror haki, this made him qualified to become the Four Emperors. What happened? What happened just now? Suddenly fainted, so strange. The awakened pirates, touching the back of their heads one by one, have no idea what just happened, even Kuro Star. When many pirates were hotly discussing, Ben Beckman stared at Baizi with bright eyes, and his eyes couldn't help but be excited. Your name is Baizi, right? There was someone who awakened Conqueror haki during the battle. Ben Beckman's flat voice was heard by the ears of many unknown pirates, and his mind roared like being struck by lightning in an instant. Pa, Conqueror haki. Baizi awakens Conqueror haki. I'm darling, they heard it right, they just fainted because this guy woke up. Conqueror haki. The host shocked and beat 357 pirates and got a treasure chest. Would you like to open it? On. Without the slightest hesitation, Baizi didn't expect that Conqueror Hockey's little test knife would even have such a reward. In other words, the system is getting more and more cute. Congratulations to the host for getting the Conqueror Hockey Experience Card X100. Bring up the Properties panel. Name, Baizi. Age, 19. Ability, /LV3, Conqueror Hockey LV2. Shock Fruit LV1. Items, none. Looking at the attribute panel in the field of vision, the corners of Baizi's mouth twitched. Gouda ~. Baizi, you really woke up. Conqueror Hockey. Star of Kuro stared at Baizi with wide bean-sized eyes. After getting along this week, he and Baizi became ordinary friends, and he couldn't accept this fact for a while. You must know that the Star of Kuro was also the leader of the pirates. The bounty on Marine's side was as high as 94 million Baileys, and nearly 100 million Baileys, which is not a small record, and Baizi. But the bounty is 100,000 Bailey, the gap between the two is more than galaxy. However, now tell him that the intern with a bounty of 100,000, who stepped on a horse, has awakened Conqueror Hockey. No one can accept this. He has always had his own sense of superiority before, because he and Baizi have played against each other many times, and every time he won the Kuro Star, and now Baizi has awakened Conqueror Hockey, which is definitely an unprecedented blow to him. Baizi, me, the Kuro Star challenges you. The author, who was struggling with the last trace of Kuro Star, did not believe that Baizi was stronger than him, and clamored for the challenge. As soon as Kuro Star said this, Ben Beckman looked at Kuro Star and nodded, this kid is pretty good too. Hearing the challenge of Kuro Star, Isho in Baizi's heart really thought that he was still the same Baizi before, but since he was challenged, he just happened to try the same shock fruit as Whitebeard. Good. After thinking for a while, with the attitude of trying, Baizi readily agreed. That Star of Kuro thought of the scene just now, his face turned red. Baizi, we are not allowed to use Conqueror Hockey. Star of Kuro coughed lightly, jokingly, if Baizi used Conqueror Hockey, he would have no chance of winning, he is not a fool. Yes, Baizi, who didn't plan to use Conqueror Hockey, agreed immediately. The battle between the two was formed, and the surrounding Ben Beckman and many cadres all looked at Baizi, but they knew that Baizi had never won the previous test between the two. A while. Above the open space, the two stood 3 or 4 meters apart, surrounded by spectators. Who do you say will win? It should be the Star of Kuro. Although Baizi has awakened Conqueror Hockey, his skills are not expected to improve much. Well, I think so too. The surrounding cadres also talked about their predictions about the two people in the field. Hey, Baizi's sword has no eyes, you have to be careful. If Baizi opened Conqueror Hockey, he would not dare to give him 10 courage to Kuro Star, but without opening Conqueror Hockey, he was 100% sure to knock Baizi down. I'm here. Kuro, holding the katana sword in both hands, stomped on the ground with both feet, and with the sound of tearing the air, attacked towards Hakuzawa, who was holding the samurai sword in his right hand diagonally downward. Speed is very fast, and the bounty can be offered by Marine to 94 million Bailey, which is not a vegetarian. Just when the Star of Kuro was 1 meter away from Baizi, Baizi moved. Baizi, who was holding a samurai sword in his right hand, took a step forward. The samurai sword in his hand was wrapped with the ability of shaking fruit. It crossed an arc and collided with Kuro Star's katana. Short-handedly, the two weapons collided in an instant, making a dull sound, and in the next instant, a figure turned into a cannonball and flew out quickly, both hands trembling uncontrollably, and the tiger's mouth cracked. When the waves settled, the Star of Kuro had already been slashed by Baizi's slash, and it was more than 50 feet away. There was a 5-foot mark at the foot of the Star of Kuro, and the beloved knife in his hand, cracked, and under the remaining force of the shaking fruit, it turned into fragments of a weapon, and fell to the ground with a rustling sound. The power of a knife is so terrifying. Everyone present was dumbfounded, especially the trainees of the Red Hair Pirates and many cadres, including Ben Beckman. Congratulations to the host for hanging the Kuro star with a reward of 94 million, and obtaining a treasure chest. May I ask the host to open the shortcut to automatically open the treasure box? Hee, open it, Baizi said in his heart. Isho, this system is decent enough. Congratulations to the host for getting the /upgrade card X20. Congratulations to the host for getting the Junjun Fruit upgrade card X20. Use all. Without any hesitation, after getting the / and shock fruit upgrade cards, he directly blessed it. Although it was only 20 points, Baizi clearly felt that his mastery of the / skill and the shock fruit was a step deeper. Ha, good. It seems that our pirate group has another super strong combat power. Stronger than Ben Beckman, he certainly knew that Baizi had left his hand, otherwise the Kuro star at this moment would have become a powerful one. Corpse. A random blow is to instantly kill the Kuro star with a bounty of nearly 100 million. Does this mean that the strength of this intern is at least 100 million? Very good, Baizi, I can satisfy you with whatever reward you want. Ben Beckman was in a good mood, finding such a genius with Conqueror Hockey. What a joy in the fitting room. It's true. Of course. Ben Beckman proudly patted the breast, as if I would satisfy you as long as you say it. Then, I want to challenge you, co-captain Ben Beckman. As soon as Baizi said this, everyone around was stunned. They all looked at Baizi with eyes full of horror. The combat power is second only to Ben Beckman of the red-haired Shanks. Chapter 3 Junjun Fruit, new book for collection. Close black lens bracket. Challenge me. As soon as this statement came out, Ben Beckman was stunned. The officers of the surrounding red-haired pirates looked at Baizi with interest, but they hadn't seen their deputy captain, Ben Beckman, for a long time. It's interesting. Since I promise you anything, I will make an exception to discuss with you today. Ben Beckman looked at Baizi with deep eyes. He also wanted to know the limits of this boy who awakened Conqueror Hockey, and he also one purpose is to let Baizi know that Conqueror Hockey can't be invincible unless he wakes up. After all, awakening and using are different concepts. Oh, Ben Beckman's words made the eyes of many officials of the red-haired pirates full of interest, and the pirates around them even had bright eyes. Ben Beckman, as the deputy captain of their pirate group, his strength is comparable to that of their captain's red hair. I remember that the last time the deputy captain made a move was half a year ago. Thinking that the deputy captain will make a move later, the officers and members of the surrounding red-haired pirates are all looking at the field with 12 points of spirit. A while. Baizi and Ben Beckman were surrounded by the central open space, surrounded by officers and members of the pirates. This kid is good enough to challenge Deputy Captain Ben Beckman. No, it seems that this kid is afraid that the Conqueror Hockey has swelled up after awakening. Hey, there's a good show to watch now. Our Deputy Captain is going to teach Baizi the rhythm . Kuro, who was smashed by Baizi with a katana sword, stared at the field with a bewildered expression. He couldn't believe what he saw, because just yesterday, he still clearly remembered Baizi. Not my opponents, but today. In just one day, what has he experienced? Not only has his strength soared, but he has also killed him in seconds. With the knife just now, Kuro Star knows that Baizi's strength here is far beyond his ability to deal with it. Boy Baizi, take action as you wish. With a wave of Ben Beckman's hand, he said arrogantly, such a good seedling will definitely be beaten in the future, perhaps before the storm comes. Their Black Thief group will have another incredible core combat power. Captain Ben Beckman, watch out. Since the opponent was Ben Beckman, Baizi didn't need to keep his hands. He held the samurai sword in both hands and swung it down with his incomparable wealth. Conqueror Hockey and Junjun Fruit poured into the samurai at the same time, and the whole samurai was on the verge of collapse. Slashed out with a slash. Swiped through the white arc in the air, the speed is fast, and it is in front of Ben Beckman in an instant. Seeing the arc in front of him, Ben Beckman stretched out his right palm and grabbed Baizi's slashing attack directly in anticipation of the crowd. Huh. This attack tilde. As soon as his right palm touched the slash from Baizi, Ben Beckman suddenly felt that something was wrong, because the intensity of the slash was far beyond his expectations. Not only was Conqueror hockey mixed with it, but there was also some kind of shock. Suddenly, Ben Beckman thought of the scene in which Baizi smashed the Kuro star katana with one knife. Could it be? Baizi, you are a devil fruit user. That's right, this is the only weirdness that can explain which blow just now. That kind of devil fruit feeling can't be wrong, and Ben Beckman is confident in his instincts. What? Devil fruit tilde. The surrounding red-haired pirate group officials and pirates were full of astonishment. Conqueror hockey had already surprised them. Now this kid named Baizi is still a devil fruit power user. Hee, as expected of the deputy captain. Baizi withdrew his slashing posture and stood still, without concealing his laughter. Sure enough tilde. Ben Beckman's eyes narrowed slightly, and he continued to ask, the slash you used just now had a vibrating effect. I don't know what fruit you were eating. Shake fruit. The dull voice resounded in the ears of Ben Beckman and many cadres, as well as the black thieves present, like a thunderclap. What did they hear? This guy said that his ability is shock fruit. How is this possible? Only one devil fruit has ever appeared. Now that Whitebeard is alive and well, how can there be another shocking fruit? This is too unbelievable and unbelievable. Oh, then, how do you prove it? Ben Beckman was different from the others, because he knew more about devil fruits, and asked Baizi with deep eyes. Prove it. It's very simple, the co-captain will punch me immediately. The corners of Baizi's mouth twitched. To be honest, Zhen Guo had just upgraded the new skills in his mind, and he also wanted to test it out. However, Ben Beckman is undoubtedly the best object for his experiment, because he doesn't have to worry about the other party being killed by his own hand. Okay, then, Baizi, you can take action. Ben Beckman here is completely afraid to underestimate the young man in front of him. If this guy really has the fruit of shock, he really can't underestimate the enemy. Looking at Ben Beckman's solemn appearance, the surrounding officials and pirates raised their hearts in their throats, staring at the field without blinking. Then I'm welcome. The corners of Baizi's mouth twitched, and the soles of his feet stomped on the ground, instantly turning into a stream of light. All the power of the shocking fruit gathered on his right fist, and there were faint white spheres. Shattering and air-shattering. Hey, this little one is real tilde. Seeing the white light of Baizi's right fist, Ben Beckman's face was solemn, and armament hockey covered his entire body, and immediately punched Baizi's fist with a punch. Boom tilde. The dull voice swept out, and the next moment was the endless energy centered on Baizi and Ben Beckman. Scattered in all directions, the surrounding cadres were all dumbfounded, and those weak pirates were directly thrown off. Flew out. Within 5 feet of Baizeben and Beckman, the ground sank 3 inches deep, dust splashed everywhere, and the energy was flying. The scene on the field was a little unreal. Star of Kuro looked at the power in the field, his eyes were full of astonishment and surprise. That guy is really... My God, how is it possible? Chapter 4 singled out the red-haired cadres of the whole regiment. Please collect. Close black lens bracket. The dust dissipated, and the eyes gathered. Many officers and pirates of the red-hair pirates stared at the field one by one, and their eyes suddenly widened. Fuck, this is the aftermath of the battle. Meow, that Baizi intern is amazing tilde. Did you fight to such an extent tilde? Look. Vice Captain Ben Beckman took a half step back. Wow tilde. One of the surrounding members exclaimed and screamed, and immediately everyone looked over. As expected, Ben Beckman in the field took a half step back, and Baizi, who was on the opposite side, took more than 10 steps back, but even so, it is enough to be proud of. Joke. Who is Ben Beckman? That is an existence comparable to their red-haired captain. He is extremely jealous of Ben Beckman as the 4 emperors and his confidant, and he is even more famous on Marine's side. Deputy captain, that is the existence of exercising the captain's rights when the captain is no longer there. If there is not enough strength to suppress, who will obey? Punch, armament, body. Ben Beckman took a step back. This is definitely a big news in the pirate world. If this incident spreads, it will definitely cause a sensation in the entire East Blue and the New World. I am afraid that even the four emperors can't keep calm. Congratulations to the host for fighting Ben Beckman and defeating him, getting a treasure chest and awakening armament hockey. Armament hockey. Hearing the system's voice, Baizi's gaze fell on Ben Beckman, who was in armament hockey on the opposite side. In reality, Conqueror hockey, now armament hockey, motherfucker, the system honestly won't deceive me. Tisk tisk tisk, good boy. Feeling the unparalleled impact, Ben Beckman was not only not embarrassed because he took a step back, but was extremely happy. The stronger Baizi was, the better it would be for their red hair pirates. Judging from the fact, this guy's strength is definitely higher than most of the cadres in their pirate group. I thought it would take a while for this kid to grow up to reach this height, but I really didn't expect this kid to be so powerful. Baizi didn't pay attention to what Ben Beckman said, because he was digesting the information from armament at this time. Although Ben Beckman said so, he knew that Ben Beckman did not use all his strength, and he was just very tired. Maybe underestimated. After this battle, Baizi became famous in the Red Hair Pirates. But at the same time, on the coast of the island, a well-proportioned man with red hair, 3 scars on his left eye, a short beard, an empty left arm fluttering in the wind, wearing a long black cloak, is looking from a distance. Come slowly. Hey, it's just to solve a wave of little pirates, it takes so long. This is... Before the red hair finished speaking, there was a ray of brilliance in a certain room, because he felt the familiar aura that could no longer be familiar wafting in the air. Conqueror hockey. That's right, it's Conqueror hockey. That's right, is there a Conqueror hockey in the other pirate group? His eyes flashed brightly. Ben Beckman, what's going on? The solemn look in his eyes is not concealed at all, because the person who owns the Conqueror hockey is definitely not an ordinary person, but why did he not notice it on the pirate ship? Captain, you are here. We have another enchanting genius on board. Seeing the arrival of the red hair, regardless of the cadres or pirates around, their eyes are full of admiration and fanaticism, because the captain in front of them is one of the 4 emperors of the New World, red-haired Shanks. A character that is enough to coerce the times. Hee, Captain, an intern on our ship just awakened Conqueror hockey. Ben Beckman saw Shanks' solemn appearance, looked at Baizi with deep meaning, and said to Shanks with laughter. What? When the redhead heard it, his eyes flashed brightly, his eyes passed over many cadres and pirate members, and finally he landed on his body, which still had the slightest trace of Conqueror hockey's breath. This kid is Baizi. The red-haired slender fingertips touched the forehead under the red bangs. He obviously had some memories of this passionate intern who had just joined. Ben Beckman had told him before that the reward for the intern on his ship was only 100,000 shells. Lee's newcomer. Yes, it is Baizi who has awakened a Conqueror hockey like you, and just now, except for me and more than a dozen cadres, all the rest were killed by Baizi's Conqueror hockey. When Ben Beckman spoke, the corners of his mouth were grinning. To the back of the ear, their interns this time really turned out to be a heaven-defying evildoer. What, more, Captain, this kid not only awakened Conqueror hockey, he also has the same shocking fruit as Whitebeard. It's hard to imagine that there are 2 identical devil fruits in this world. Tisk tisk tilde. Usopp looked at Baizi in the field. I was filled with emotion, and to be honest, he was very envious. After all, Conqueror hockey didn't wake up if he wanted to. Sure enough, there is more than one devil fruit of the same kind. The redhead thought of something, and his eyes were bright. Although there are no 2 devil fruits at the same time, there is no evidence that there is only one devil fruit with the same ability. Ha ha ha, if Whitebeard knows that someone has the same shocking fruit as him, I don't know what his expression will be, it must be very exciting. When I think that Whitebeard knows about this, I am afraid that I will be shocked. It is not only Whitebeard. If this news spreads, it is estimated that Baizi will definitely become the prey of everyone. After all, only the owner of the devil fruit dies, you will get the corresponding devil fruit from it. If someone spreads this matter, the consequences are absolutely unimaginable, at least until Baizi grows up. This news cannot be leaked. Suddenly, there was no sign. With the red hair as the center, the tsunami-like Conqueror Haki instantly enveloped the entire island. Immediately, except for the red-haired pirates, all the other pirates collapsed, and lay dead on the ground. None of the pirates in the pirate group, including the intern, were unconscious. Conqueror Haki's control was obviously extremely precise, not like Baizi at all. The whole process lasted for a second. The turbulent Conqueror Haki was instantly restrained by the red hair, and the fierce anger shot into the sky and enveloped everyone in the pirates. Everyone, including Baizi, felt their souls tremble. This is really strong. The coercion of the person, the matter of Junjun fruit must not be leaked. If it leaks, I will personally send him out of this world. Shanks, with a curved corner of his mouth, was completely inconsistent with his usual approachable attitude, but everyone in the red-haired pirate group knew very well that he was not joking. Psi tilde tilde. As soon as Shanks said this, everyone took a deep breath. Withdrawing the cold eyes, the red hair that turned into a face returned to a warm smile again. Next, I announce an appointment. Baizi will be the leader of my red hair pirates from now on. Ben Beckman, Shanks, this. Numerous cadres. Even the pirates in the surrounding pirate group were all terrified. Did they hear it right? The captain actually wanted Baizi to be the cadre. Especially the star of Kuro, his eyes are full of surprise and astonishment. That's not right, Captain, the position of cadre has always been taken up. Once this case is broken, I'm afraid it will be difficult to convince the public in the future. A cadre heard and glanced at Baizi and said with some dissatisfaction. The other cadres also changed their faces when they heard it, and obviously their mood fluctuated a lot. Although this guy has awakened Conqueror Haki and has the shocking fruit, they are not vegetarians. The expressions of many cadres were in full view. Ben Beckman laughed and looked at Baizi deeply. Of course, he knew that Shanks was tying Baizi to their boat. Baizi, what do you think? After Ben Beckman's words, the eyes of many cadres and pirates all focused on him in an instant, even blushing. Does strength matter? Under everyone's attention, Baizi didn't have the slightest change in his mood. He murmured a word, and then glanced at the many cadres around him. He would not miss such an excellent opportunity to gain experience, since this is the case. 13 cadres, let's go together. Chapter 5 The 13 cadres were madly abused per collection. Close black lens bracket. Let's go together. Baizi said in a frenzied sentence. All the 13 cadres on the spot were stunned, and all looked at Baizi in astonishment. Is this guy's brain caught in the door? He actually wants to challenge all their cadres. You must know that each of their cadres is the core combat power of the pirates, and the first condition to become a cadre is to be proficient in armament hockey and observation hockey. The whole new world, except for the 4 emperors. No one dared to provoke them like this, because it was no different from courting death. Of course, the forces of the Black Army and the King Shichibukai were out here. This kid can really cause trouble. The red hair pressed his forehead and said with a smile, but did not try to stop it. Ben Beckman heard. Sly Isho, don't you feel familiar with the captain? You looked so much like him when you were young. Cough cough. Is there? The red-haired Isho is embarrassed, saying that this kid is very similar to him when he was young. Because of this, the position of these 4 emperors is not someone else's, but his red-haired Shanks. You know, when Whitebeard, Charlotte Linlin, and Kaido of the Beasts were 3-legged in the New World, and in between, the red hair became the 4th emperor, and the sensation at that time was no less than a hole in the sky. Boy, it's arrogant, I'll meet you. Usopp, holding a pistol, stepped into the field. As a sniper of the Red Hair Pirates independent of the cadres, Usopp's combat power is very strong. It can be said that besides Ben Beckman, he is the strongest firearms master. Coming to the field, Usopp observation haki and the whole body armament haki instantly turned on, and the black armament haki armor covered the whole body and quickly spread to the pistol in his hand. The two stood still, and the noisy field immediately became dead silent. At one point, the breeze blows. One swipe, Usopp's gun was about to shoot to the extreme. With a bang, a powerful bullet wrapped in armament shot by Z's shoulder as if it had passed through the void. After all, he was a teammate. Start or know the weight. But I saw that Bai Z's right palm was inwardly rotated on the side of his leg, and he stepped forward slightly. Boom! The next instant, before Usopp's whole body of armament could react, it turned into a cannonball and flew upside down. Along the way, he plowed out several meters of ditch marks, and finally crashed into the boulder outside the corn, which is abruptly embedded in it. Moreover, on the surrounding boulders, there is a slap mark of more than 5 feet. Immediately, the right palm turned into a scissor shape, and appeared on his shoulder as if it had passed through the void. The ability to shake the fruit gathered between his fingers, and the air vibration suddenly emerged, neutralizing the special bullet wrapped by armament by Usopp. In this scene, all the cadres and pirate members were dumbfounded. Ben Beckman and the red-haired Shanks looked at each other and saw the joy in each other's eyes. This guy's combat power is far beyond their imagination. It is indeed Whitebeard's shock fruit. This ability is really not ordinary. Congratulations to the host who has finished battering the red-haired core combat power Usopp, and obtained the X50 upgrade card of the shock fruit, and the X50 upgrade card of armament haki. Looking at the record after the abuse of Usopp, Bai Z was more motivated, and looked at the 13 members of the red-haired pirates again. The 13 people in front of him had become upgrade cards for his various skills. I said that your core combat power will be shot together, but you still don't believe it. The very timely and aggressive method was like a steel thorn stabbing the hearts of 13 cadres, and the violent factors in the whole body were instantly detonated. Good boy, since this is the way to fulfill you. This guy is too arrogant, he must be beaten into a pig's head. Wake up Conqueror Haki, what if you have the fruit of shock, watch me smash his 8 ribs with one punch. Go on, abuse that kid . The 13 cadres were on the spot, and the clay figurines had a third of their soil, not to mention that the 13 of them were the core combat power of the Red Hair Pirates. Give me. Ben Beckman was about to say something, but was stopped by the redhead beside him. Shanks, you. Hee, don't worry, with us here, that kid can still have an accident. What do you mean? Ben Beckman pondered for a while, and then knew about the redhead's plan. This was to let Bai Z stand up and examine his strength by the way. The two looked at the arena calmly, while the members of the red-haired pirates who were present were dumbfounded, staring at the arena in awe, as if hungry wolves were attacking Bai Z with various moves. The adrenaline of all people has skyrocketed. Mom, what did I see? 13 cadres shot at the same time. Meow, it's the first time I've seen this battle on a horse, and I'm dying . Especially the star of Kuro, looking at the situation in front of him, the whole person is dumbfounded. Thinking of the complete defeat of his samurai sword just now, it turns out that this guy is much stronger than he just thought. Let your mouth be tough and hit me. All of a sudden, the attacks of the 13 cadres came, and none of them were worse than Usopp. 13 roaring winds rolled up the dust. The originally broken battlefield was instantly destroyed by these 13 cadres, and various abilities were frequently used. Overlord slash. The rich Conqueror haki poured into the katana, and a crack came from the katana. Because the Conqueror haki was too thick, the squeezed katana had already reached its limit. Cut. Facing the oncoming 13 attacks, Bai Z didn't make any fancy moves, and a silver moon arc that directly dominated everything, streaked a beautiful arc in the air, and instantly collided with the 13 attacks. Boom . Boom . One after another, the roaring sound was incessant, the dust was flying, the air was torn, and the soil and stones were splashed. All the members of the pirate group around were retreating, for fear of being hit by the soil and rocks and affecting the pond fish. After a while, the dust dissipated. Everyone's eyes swept to the field, and the eyes were all stupid. Actually, took over. The stunned gaze came from the eyes of a famous pirate, including the 13 cadres, all of them froze in place. They didn't notice their new attack at all, so they were easily resolved by a slash. However, before the 13 cadres thought about their progress, a devilish voice entered their ears. 13 cadres, be careful. Baizi's voice fell, and his right palm came to the front and was level in the air, and then slowly pressed down. In such a scene, Ben Beckman and Red Hair's eyes were slightly condensed, and they shook the fruit. Really? As soon as the thoughts of the two appeared, a loud bang came from under the 13 cadres. The 13 cadres instantly sank their feet into the ground, and the 13 captains were the center, and a giant palm print of 20 feet appeared. The dust flew up again. Boy, you! Boom tilde. Before one of the cadres could finish speaking, Baizi pressed VV again. Plop tilde. Plop plop tilde tilde tilde. The 13 cadres immediately knelt on the ground, and the endless dust dissipated. Everyone looked at the field, all stunned and speechless. Chapter 6 Take down the cadres and challenge the red hair for collection. Close black lens bracket. On the small island, the lungs of the 13 red-haired pirates officers exploded with anger. Bastard boy, there's a way to make us. Without waiting for a cadre to finish this sentence, a loud roar rose again in the field like a thunderous explosion. The original 20 jong palm print suddenly spread and expanded to a full size under the shaking of Baizi's palm. 50 feet tall. The overwhelming dust and sand splashed around. The star of Kuro and the members of the surrounding red-haired pirates, all like avoiding tigers and wolves, struggled for a long time and jumped off the boulder. Usopp happened to see this scene. That kid, his strength is so strong. Shanks and Beckman looked at each other with joy in his eyes. It seems that they have another incredible core combat power from today. And at this moment, the heads of the 13 cadres in the field were suppressed by Zejunjun fruit, and they were sticking to the ground fiercely. If they came up again, they would be photographed underground. Cough cough, take it, take it. Finally, a cadre couldn't bear it first, and clapped his palms on the ground to admit defeat. They just heard that Whitebeard's shaking fruit has the ability to destroy the world. Now that they have experienced it, it is true. After the host abused the 13 officers of the red-haired pirates, the Slashing Upgrade Experience Card X100, the Conqueror Hockey Upgrade Experience Card X100, and the Shock Fruit Upgrade Experience Card X100. 100 experience cards in a row. Baizi listened to the joy in his ears, but he should not be too happy. Bring up the properties panel. Name, Baizi. Age, 19. Ability, /LV4, Conqueror Hockey LV2, Armament Hockey LV1. Shock Fruit LV2. Items, none. The 13 cadres who were completely defeated, thinking about what they said before, felt embarrassed. They looked at Baizi again and their eyes changed. This world is a world where the strong are respected. As long as you are strong enough, you will win others. Respect. Marine Dajong is like this, Shichibukai is like this, and the 4 emperors of their pirate power are still like this. The promotion of cadres, the 13 cadres no longer have the slightest objection. Joke. The opponent's strength obviously has reached the level of cadres. Although they are carelessly taken advantage of by Baizi, on the other hand, it also proves that Baizi has the possibility to defeat them, although this possibility is in the real fight. Among them is very small. Baizi was their comrade in arms, so naturally the 13 ministers would kill him without coming up. This was one of the most important reasons for the current situation, including the previous Usopp. Okay, if that's the case, then today, no, from now on, Baizi will be the 14th cadre of our red-haired pirates. The corners of the red-haired mouth curled into a happy arc, and announced loudly, "Today I will treat you as a guest. Don't leave unless you're drunk, Tilda. Long live the captain. Baizi, Baizi." Immediately, the members of the Black Thief were all excited, looking at Baizi with envy and jealousy, and a trace of admiration. As for Kuro Star, he swallowed his saliva. Ben Beckman was very happy when he saw the excited pirates. His eyes could not help falling on Baizi. He smiled and said in a good mood, "Baizi, congratulations on becoming the 14th member of the Red Hair Pirates. Officer, now, is there anything you want to tell everyone?" Ben Beckman's voice fell, and the excited members of the red-haired pirates became silent at a visible speed. "Baizi, it's yours. You've lost the face of all our cadres today, and you should be careful in the future," a cadre said jokingly in a detour, causing members of the surrounding pirate group to roar isho. "Deputy Captain Ben Beckman, I've always had a dream." Baizi's face was serious. He was talking nonsense with a stern face, and his eyes swept to the red-haired body. "Actually, I really want to fight the captain, and I want to see the existence between me and the 4 emperors. What a difference. Quote question mark exclamation mark question mark. As soon as this statement came out, the audience immediately fell into a dead silence. I fuck. What did they hear? This kid said he wanted to fight the captain. Meow. Who gave him the courage? Even Ben Beckman was stunned when he heard it. He didn't expect this guy who had just become a cadre of the red-haired pirates from an intern. The first sentence made everyone including him challenge the red-haired Shanks. That is the new world's 4 emperors. Of course, what is Baizi's plan? They will never know. This opportunity is not to be missed. He had activated armament hockey in a previous battle with Ben Beckman. If he fought Shanks, one of the 4 emperors, I don't know. What will he activate? As for the challenge to Shanks, it was completely within Baizi's plan. After finally crossing over to the world of Black Thieves, the only thing he could do was to try his best to become stronger in the shortest possible time, and to accomplish what he thought before. A pirate dream that you can't even imagine. Don't want to be One Piece. King of pirates must not be competent pirates. Cough cough. Baizi, although your strength is good, but it's probably not the right time to challenge the captain. After all, you haven't even awakened armament and observation hockey. I think it's still. Ben Beckman coughed dryly to ease the small embarrassment in the field. After all, Baizi's words were too unscrupulous. Armament. When Baizi heard this, the corners of his mouth curled up. No one can stop him by challenging the redhead today, so the armament he just got is also exposed. Is he qualified? While speaking, Baizi raised his right arm and armament hockey surged out, and the black armament armor immediately covered his entire fist, and it was more than that. Soon, armament hockey covered him, just like Usopp and the 13 cadres before him. Armament hockey, quote, of Ben Beckman I just pressed, and the same goes for Usopp and the 13 cadres, and even the red-haired eyes shone brightly. Shock. All these people are completely restless. The star of Kuro has a big mouth, his eyes are bulging out, staring at the fist covered by armament hockey in the field. This guy. Even armament can. Hee, it seems that we really have an incredible genius on board. The red-haired Shanks, one of the 4 emperors, became more and more interested in the Baizi in front of him. Conqueror hockey, Junjangwo, armament hockey, although none of the 3 have grown up yet, the qualifications to do it yourself are barely enough. Okay, I promise. I also want to see what the strength of this newly appointed cadre is. The redhead raised his eyes and looked at Baizi not far away, and sat on a stone boldly. Come on, attack me with all your strength. Wow tilde. As soon as Shanks said these words, everyone around him, including Ben Beckman, was dumbfounded. It was here that the rich hockey surged all over Baizi's body. A hockey turned into a samurai sword, armament hockey wrapped around it. The shock fruit burst out with all its strength, and the thunderous aura swept across the 4 poles with Baizi as the center. Chapter 7 Encounter with the Giant Crocodile Pirates. A little later. In an instant, Baizi retreated more than 10 meters. On the other hand, the red-haired mouth still had a warm arc hanging from the corners of his mouth, and the eyes of many cadres were full of playfulness. Obviously, they had expected this result. The host fights the four emperors. Red-haired Shanks awakens observation Haki. Really? Hearing the system's voice, Baizi's eyes flashed. Observation Haki. Now with the previous Conqueror Haki and Armament Haki, Baizi already has 3 kinds of Haki. Drink freely, and when it disperses, it is already pitch black outside. Seaside. Shanks was smoking a cigar, staring at the sea dotted with stars, and there were faint waves rolling. What do you think of that kid, Baizi? Redhead breathed out a cigarette, rose in front of him, and pulled on his long cape and asked Ben Beckman beside him. That kid is not bad. With a little polishing over time, it is definitely not much of a core combat power. Ben Beckman thought of the scene he experienced during the day, and nodded with considerable affirmation. Oh, there are not many people who can be so highly rated by you. The red hair took a breath, smelling the sea breeze, and looked at the looming sea surface. I'm going to let Baizi go to find out about Ace's news. Ace? You mean Blackbeard? That's not right. When Ben Beckman heard the redhead mention Ace, he couldn't help thinking of the previous scene of the redhead and Blackbeard fighting. Whitebeard, see, of course, he knew nothing about the thieves group. Ace went to hunt down Blackbeard. I'm afraid it's going to be bad. After all, Blackbeard left 3 scars on the eyes of Shanks, one of the 4 emperors. Although the red hair was careless at the time, it was enough to show that Blackbeard was hiding deep. Baizi lacks everything. To go further into the future, this is his chance. Wise eyes flickered from the red-haired eyes. Although it was very secretive, it was still noticed by Ben Beckman. You mean to investigate Ace's trail, but in fact, let Baizi go to see to experience. The two have been partners for many years. Ben Beckman knows the redhead's mind very well, and he guessed the redhead's intention at a glance. Those who know me, co-captain. Then I'll make arrangements tomorrow. Originally, I wanted Baizi to go to Whitebeard to deliver the letter. Now it seems that Kuro Star will go instead of him. Ben Beckman murmured. ... The next day, early in the morning. On the deck of the Redford, Vice Captain Ben Beckman called everyone on board, looked at the red hair and said aloud, "This time everyone is called, because there is something to announce." While speaking, Ben Beckman took out a letter from his arms. The Star of Kuro. Deputy Captain, I'm here. Star of Kuro, staring at the 2 panda eyes, hurriedly replied, he didn't sleep last night. Obviously the impact of yesterday's events on him was too great. Well, here's a letter from the captain to Whitebeard. You go to Whitebeard and hand this letter to him. Send a letter, me. The Star of Kuro is a little unbelievable, flattered and somewhat surprised and uncertain. Of course, this is a test given to you by the captain. When you come back, you will be a member of our red-haired pirates. Yes, Captain and Deputy Captain, promise to complete the mission. Afterwards, Ben Beckman looked at Baizi, and then glanced at many cadres. Everyone knows that there have been some changes in the 4 Emperors Whitebeard pirates recently. Teach, a member of the 2nd Division, attacked and killed the captain of the 4th Division and snatched the dark fruit in his hand. The strength of Blackbeard is well known to everyone. This person is extremely insidious and cunning. After comprehensive consideration by the captain and I, due to the particularity of Blackbeard, I decided to send Baizi to investigate the traces of Ace and Blackbeard. After Ben Beckman's words, the 13 cadres all turned their attention to Baizi, and after following Captain Shanks for so long, they also had some guesses about Shanks' intention. The traces are false, and the experience at sea is true. It seems that the captain attaches great importance to Baizi. But it's not surprising. After all, that guy has 3 kinds of hockey editions, and whoever will not focus on training. The vice captain's words have been heard. If there is no objection to the Star of Kuro Baizi, you will set off immediately, and the others and I will wait on the boat for the 2 triumphant return. After half a day, look for the trace of Ace towards the information given by Ben Beckman. Others don't know, but Baizi is very clear that Ace is definitely not the opponent of Blackbeard's insidious guy. In the end, Ace was defeated by Blackbeard and used it as a bargaining chip to trade with Marine headquarters to get the legitimate pirate of King Shichibukai. Teach has great ambitions. The reason why he joined the Whitebeard Pirates is to go to the Dark Fruit in the hands of the 4th Division. He hides very well. Since joining the Whitebeard Black Thief pattern, there is no trace of it, and he kills it as soon as he shoots. He became the captain of the 4th Division, and he finally killed Whitebeard in the war and got the shocking fruit, and then became the new 4th Emperor. Baizi remembered very clearly that if he hadn't made a red start at the beginning, the consequences would have been absolutely unimaginable. Baizi's boat is a few kilometers away. The flag of the crocodile fluttered in the wind, and the observer of the giant crocodile pirates found the pattern of the White Sea ship pirates and shouted loudly, "Captain, a pirate ship was found 3 kilometers away, with an empty pattern and 3 scars in the left eye. That's the Red Hair Pirates. It's the Red Hair Pirates ship." What? Who is it and how many are there? The giant crocodile heard the red-haired pirates. His eyes immediately became bright. As the pirates of Kaido of the Beasts, there was a fierce confrontation between the two pirates some time ago, and they also let the red-haired pirates, the thieves, suffered a small loss. Now that I meet the red-haired pirates, if I can destroy this wave of pirates by myself, then I will make another great contribution in front of Kaido boss. Report to the captain. There is only one person there, and... The observer stared at the telescope with wide-eyed eyes, holding the latest news from the poster this morning. That person is the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates, Baizi, with a bounty of 100,000. Huh. Baizi, it's that kid. Subordinates, and his eyes were bright. The newly promoted cadre of the red-haired pirates had a bounty of 100,000. While the head of his giant crocodile pirates had a bounty of 130 million. Both the difference is unknown how many times. Ha ha ha, brothers, the opportunity for meritorious deeds has come. Shoot me and kill the 14th cadres of the red-haired pirates. Let's make a good breeze in front of Kaido boss. After a minute, a cannonball accurately crossed the arc and fell to Baizi, who was lying on a deck chair basking in the sun. Observation Hockey covered this sea area, and had already discovered the traces of the giant crocodile pirates, even the giant crocodile and the crew. Their conversations were clear. The corners of his mouth could not help but evoke a devilish arc. Hey tilde. Plop tilde tilde. Just as a cannonball was about to fall on the deck, Baizi shook the fruit and slapped a cannonball flying from the front into the water. Damn boy, order the ship to hit me, and smash that broken ship into pieces. Hee hee, 4 emperors with red hair and 14 cadres, I'm cheap tilde. Chapter 8 _ Destroy the giant crocodile pirates. The big pirate ship arrived in the blink of an eye. The condescending giant crocodile looked down at a small broken ship, and as expected, what he saw was the information he received. The 4 emperors and 14 cadres with red hair. Mother, the red-haired pirates are getting more and more alive, so the bounty is 10 won. Baile's people will be elected as cadres. When he thought of killing the cadres of the red-haired pirates and becoming famous in the New World, the giant crocodile couldn't help being excited. Good boy, dare to go to sea alone. 4 emperors with red hair and 14 cadres. What a tempting fat. Tisk tisk tilde. The giant crocodile who wanted to smash the small broken boat into pieces suddenly changed his mind and prepared to joke about this. The newly promoted cadre of the red hair pirates. Who are you? Raising his eyelids, he glanced at the clamoring, superior giant crocodile across from him. Scoff tilde. Speaking it out will surprise you. Lao Su is the giant crocodile pirate group under Kaido of the Beasts, one of the 4 emperors of the New World, with a bounty of 130 million giant crocodiles. Gia Gia, I really didn't expect to meet the 100,000 Bailey cadres of the red hair pirates here. Tisk tisk tilde tilde tilde. The giant crocodile couldn't be excited. His cannon and all his subordinates locked on the kid. As long as the guy moved a little, he would immediately take it down. Kaido of the Beasts, the giant crocodile pirates tilde. Of course Baizi knew that the red hair pirates had recently had a confrontation with Kaido of the Beasts, and he suffered a small loss, since he is now the cadre of the red hair pirates, then charge some interest first. Well, how is it? Isn't it scary to hear that Lao Tzu's bounty is 130 million, tilde. Seeing Baizi's thoughtful appearance, the giant crocodile thought his name frightened the other party, and his vanity rose suddenly. Are you finished? Finish that. Just die. Armament Haki covered the samurai's sword, and immediately slashed out with a slash, and then turned into a white arc and attacked the giant crocodile that was whimpering. What? Not good. When the giant crocodile reacted, he immediately activated the artificial giant crocodile fruit, forming a devil fruit form with a crocodile head. Bang tilde. Carrying an unparalleled momentum, the giant crocodile turned into a cannonball and flew out of the pirate ship. The head and the head were separated while the person was still in the air. A head and a corpse turned into two stones and fell into the sea. The crocodile is dead. Ah tilde. Ship, captain, he's dead. Sekal, the captain was killed in an instant. How is it possible? That guy only exists with 100,000 Baileys, how could this be? That guy is finished, he actually killed our captain. That's Kaido of the Beasts, subordinates tilde. The giant crocodile pirates immediately exploded, and the eyes they looked at Baizi again changed. The 14 cadres of the red-haired pirates were so powerful that they rewarded the 130 million Captain Giant Crocodile directly by seconds. This is where things are going. Because they know Kaido of the Beasts is the new world's famous short guard, and this little thing is over. Since your captains are all dead, then you all follow along. Glancing at the men who were talking about the giant crocodile pirates, Baizi stretched out his right palm and took Vivi in the direction of the giant crocodile pirates. No, that guy is going to shoot again. Hurry up, abandon the ship. The deputy captain of the giant crocodile pirates immediately plunged into the water without hesitation, splashing a wave, and his reaction was half a beat slower. Subordinates follow suit. Boom tilde. Before all the men of the giant crocodile pirates jumped into the sea, the sturdy pirate ship immediately shattered in the eyes of the deputy captain and dozens of men who escaped. Their pirate ship was actually held to pieces by the red-haired 14th cadre. God, the red-haired 14th cadre is so strong. However, at the next moment, a wave of haki centered on Baizi, instantly enveloped this sea area, and the corner of his mouth pulled out a radian, and it burst open. PFF tilde. Bah, Conqueror haki, how can the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates possible? The deputy captain of the giant crocodile pirates, feeling the devastation from his spirit and will, couldn't believe his head as soon as he crooked, he fainted directly. The red bloody smell overflowed, and the sea kings who smelled the bloody smell for a while came around one after another. After leaving Baizi for a while, he heard the screams behind him. The giant crocodile pirates were wiped out and the entire army was wiped out. Congratulations to the host group for destroying the giant crocodile pirates, for obtaining X100/experience card, X100 Conqueror Haki upgrade card, X100 Armament Haki upgrade card, and X100 Shockfruit experience card. A wave of experience cards was perfectly harvested, and Baizi curved into a mysterious arc, obviously very satisfied with the result. Bring up the properties panel. Name, Baizi. Age, 19. Ability, /LV5, Conqueror Haki LV3, Armament Haki LV2, Observation Haki LV1. Shockfruit LV3. Items, none. Few hours later, Baizi killed the kid of the Kaido of the Beasts pirates and spread like wildfire, spreading to all corners of the New World. To know. No matter Kaido of the Beasts or the red-haired Shanks, they are the four emperors of the sea, and even a small thing may cause riots in the pirate world. New World, an island bar. Baizi, he just went out for half a day and killed the giant crocodile pirates with a bounty of 130 million under by Beast Kai. He really underestimated him. Then Beckman took the newspaper from the newspaper bird and smiled out loud. Captain, Baizi has stabbed a big basket this time. Kaido of the Beasts is a famous protector. I am afraid that Baizi will attract the attention of all the pirate groups under Kaido. Usopp said with a solemn expression. They are all too clear about the forces of Kaido of the Beasts, who are also the 4 emperors. This kid can do things. The redhead took a sip of wine and glanced at the news in the newspaper. However, if you kill it, you will kill it. As long as the 3 major disasters of Kaido of the Beasts don't happen, just wait and see. Then, what if the 3 major disasters are shot? A cadre asked curiously. The red-haired cadre heard the words of the cadre, the corners of his mouth curved into an arc and said calmly, then the red-haired pirates will start a war with Kaido of the Beasts. Yes, if Kaido of the Beasts really pulls his face and uses the 3 major disasters on the newly promoted Baizi cadre, then our red-hair pirates will not hesitate to fight. Ben Beckman nodded in agreement. Shanks seemed very good communication. Once you provoke him, the consequences are very serious. Ha ha ha, but now, drink, you won't go home if you don't get drunk today. The red-haired, restrained Radiance, raised his glass to many cadres and members, and said arrogantly. Cheers. Many cadres and members laughed the same one by one, as if everything had never happened. On the other side, Kuro Star, who rushed to the Whitebeard pirates, stared blankly at the newspaper in his hand at this moment, fascinated for a while. The giant crocodile pirates, that guy Baizi, actually killed the giant crocodile pirates with a bounty of 130 million. Is he already so good? The pirates of Kaido of the Beasts, doesn't that guy really know how to spell dead? The star of Kuro swallowed his saliva and was shocked. The news was too shocking for him. Chapter 9_Your Bays. Not far from the giant crocodile pirates, on an island. Giant-toothed tiger Jalen pirates. Wild wolf Iwan pirates. Viper Curies pirates. The 3 big pirates gathered together. At this moment, the 3 of them were surrounded by a piece of news broadcast by a newspaper. The most striking thing on it was the photo of Baizi, the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates. Is this kid who killed the giant crocodile pirates? Iwan of the wild wolf pirates with green eyes stared at the newspaper, as if seeing a fatal temptation. To destroy the entire pirate group with one person's power, it seems that the bounty is very incompatible with his strength. Viper Curies murmured with bright eyes, not knowing what he was thinking. Hey, what do you want to do? Boss Shipshead gave us the task to find the location of the red-haired 14th cadre. Tiger J could not know what they were going to do when he saw the expressions of these 2 people. What, Jay, are you willing to let such a good opportunity slip away? Iwan of the wild wolf pirates glanced at Jay and joked, wanting to make a name in the new world and kill a rising star like Shang Baizi is the quickest way. Hearing the words of Iwan the wolf, Jay fell silent. Reconciled, how could he be reconciled? Jialoon is still hesitating. Don't you want to be a small captain all your life? The idiot of the giant crocodile is an idiot who has not even awakened armament. How can he compare with us who have awakened armament? Moved, and looked at the wild wolf Iwan a line, echoed. The 3 of them made a move, and the odds of winning could be much higher. After all, the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates named Baizi had destroyed the existence of the giant crocodile pirates. Fool, there are risks, but if they kill the 14 cadres of this red-haired pirate group, from now on, they will be able to rise to the sky and become famous all over the world. By then, Kaido will take them even more seriously. If that's the case, then fight for it. Jilin's eyes were slightly condensed, and there was a hint of ruthlessness. Okay, I'll go on. Once someone finds the red-haired 14th cadre Baizi, we will act immediately, so as not to have too many dreams at night. Viper Kuriz's eyes flickered sinisterly. In his opinion, Baizi was no longer in his eyes. Their goal is the springboard for him to become famous in the new world. On the shore of the island, the boat was docked, and Baizi walked to the shore. At the same time, a man with a sly-eyed eye saw the flag of Baizi's boat, compared his appearance, and his face changed quickly and walked away. When he came to the island, Baizi came to the tavern for the first time, which is undoubtedly the most well-informed place in this kind of place. Enter the tavern and come to the front desk of the boss. This gentleman looks familiar. What can I do? The owner of the Nozawa Tavern, a girl in her early 20s with a 9-point appearance, looks like she is in fact, but it is definitely not easy to survive in such a place. Have some pasta and a jug of wine. Okay, sir, just sit down for a while. Nozawa raised his beautiful eyes, but the depths of his eyebrows were suspicious. This young man was familiar with him, as if he had seen him somewhere. I heard that you were selling news here. Long before landing on the island, he used observation hockey to know about the business of selling news at Nozawa Tavern. Of course, ordinary people would not know about this. Oh tilde. Yeezy, who was just about to instruct his subordinates to prepare the meal, flashed a gleam in his eyes, and said with great interest, I don't know what kind of news, mister. Fire Fist Ace. Baizi didn't talk nonsense, and directly stated the purpose of his trip. Fire Fist Ace, captain of the 2nd Division of the 4 Emperor's Whitebeard Pirates. Nozawa heard this, and his expression couldn't help but be shocked. It can be said that this incident is a recent rumor at sea, or it can be said that it is a domestic scandal of the Whitebeard Pirates. Teach killed the captain of the 4th Division, and Ace chased Blackbeard Teach to get rid of the traitors. It is well known here. Fire Fist Ace, the price is not low, at least 80 million Bailey. Nozawa looked at the familiar young man in front of him at this moment, and inquired about Ace's whereabouts. Who is this guy? 80 million. Baizi thought about it for a moment. He doesn't have any money now, but he has this. Boom, sound. A black cloth bag appeared on Nozawa's table, and a faint smell of blood rushed towards him. Nozawa untied the cloth bag. When he saw the objects in it, his eyes narrowed. This is Captain of the Giant Crocodile Pirates, the head of the Giant Crocodile. Nozawa, who sells information for a living, of course knows the Giant Crocodile Pirates, worth as much as 130 million Baileys. As soon as Nozawa said this, many pirates and local residents around who should really be eating were all horrified, and all the eyes of the brush looked over, and their expressions changed in an instant, and everyone looked at Baizi again. Hey tilde, that's the head of the Giant Crocodile Pirates. Could this person be the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates? My god, I heard it right, but there are 3 pirate groups on this island who are looking for news about this guy like crazy. Grandma, is this kid crazy? I'm here at this time, I'm afraid I don't know how to write dead words. The 3 pirate leaders on this island have a bounty worth 150 million upwards, which is completely unmatched by the Giant Crocodile Pirates. Mad, are all the officers of the Red Hair Pirates so hockey, the rhythm of sending them directly to the door is this tilde. Nozawa's pupils shrank suddenly due to the heated discussion among the tavern guests. You are Baizi, the newly promoted 14th cadre of the Red Hair Pirates. It's him, no wonder. It's no wonder that the first time she saw Baizi, she felt very familiar. It turned out that, I really didn't expect this guy to be so bold and dare to come to this island. The reason why the 3 heads are on this island is because this land originally belonged to the sphere of influence of Kaido of the Beasts. This guy is definitely a lunatic. He even took the head of a giant crocodile and came to exchange condition. Is this provoking Kaido of the Beasts? Why, is the news still for sale? Seeing Yeezy's astonished appearance, the corner of Baizi's mouth curved into an arc. Sell, of course. Nozawa's calf is turning muscles at this moment. Just kidding, does he dare not sell it? He is dying. Kaido of the Beasts can't afford to offend him, but she also can't afford to offend Baizi in front of her, not because she's afraid of Baizi, but because she's afraid of the red-haired pirates behind Baizi. As for the head of the giant crocodile, she didn't dare to take it away, and she could only admit it when she met Baizi. After the incident, she would send the head of the giant crocodile to Kaido of the Beasts as soon as possible. After a while, Bai Zi, who got the trace of Ace, glanced at the empty tavern, and walked out of the tavern with a smile. Mr. Baizawa, if possible, leave this island as soon as possible. The 3 heads of Kaido of the Beasts are probably rushing over. Nozawa pursed his lips, thinking for a moment, and reminded him. The 3 pirates are interesting. The corner of Baizi's mouth raised a cruel arc, and Yeezy's legs were weak for a while. What was this guy doing? However, how did Nozawa know that Bai Zejuncho had no one to kill? Now that there are 3 waves of experience coming, how could he miss it? Chapter 10_Slaughter 1,000 people. Outside the Nozawa Tavern. Thousands of pirates surrounded the entrance of the tavern, blocking the entire Nozawa Tavern, and the eyes of the road ahead gathered in the direction of the exit. Hey, this time the 3 bosses shot, so what red-haired cadres will definitely die. No, our 3 bosses are all ruthless men who have awakened armament. I really can't imagine that the red hair pirates would choose a person with a bounty of 100,000 Bailey as their leader. That kid's strength is not easy. After all, that guy destroyed the existence of the giant crocodile pirates. It's not a jerk, or you think the 3 bosses will call everyone tilde. As soon as he stepped out of the Yes Tavern, he stepped forward and all his eyes fell on Bai Zi, and in the field surrounded by thousands of people, there were 3 men with green eyes. Obviously these 3 were 3 captain of a pirate group. The giant-toothed tiger Jalen has a bounty of 150 million Bailey. The wild wolf Iwan's bounty is 160 million Bailey. Viper Curry's bounty 180 million Bailey. Hey, the kid is very bold and fat. Knowing that the 3 of us are on this island, he dares to throw himself into the net. As the pirate with the highest bounty among the 3, the Viper Chris was the first to speak out, and his eyes were full of playfulness. Color. Not only Curry's, Jaren the giant tooth, and Iwan the wild wolf are all sparkling with brilliance in their eyes, and more than 1,000 subordinates around them are burning with flaming fireworks, as if there is a possibility of an outbreak at any time. Is Shanks of the red-haired pirates crowded by the door? I don't know how the 4 emperors were chosen to choose such an idiot as a leader. Hee, after today, the red hair pirates will become the biggest joke in the new world tilde. The 3 of you said each and every one of your words, as if the scene of 3 people killing the 14th head of the red-haired pirate group, and then becoming famous all over the world, has emerged in the new world. You really think you've settled on me? Bai Zi saw the 3 of them, who looked like clowns across from Jay. The poor people must have something to hate, but that's all. Hee. Otherwise, what do you think? The wild wolf Iwan, who sneered, looked at Bai Zi with pitiful eyes. That red-haired pirate group did not know whether to live or die. This guy was so hard-hearted when he was dying, he must torture him later, so that he would not live like this. Little guys, give it to me and kill him. Viper Chris's sinister eyes flickered, and he no longer hesitated. He knew too much that he could live to this day. In order to avoid unnecessary trouble, he had to get rid of this arrogant guy as soon as possible. Hey, boss, do it well. Go. Kill the cadre of the red-haired Shanks. Kill. In an instant, there were crowds of people, and more than 1,000 younger brothers suddenly rushed towards Bai Zi in the center like a torrent. As for the people around the street, seeing the pirates fighting in the field, they closed the doors and windows one by one and hid at home to watch the battle that was about to start outside the window. The scene of thousands of people besieging one person, how spectacular it is. All of them couldn't help but raise their hearts to their throats, staring at the field with wide eyes, as if the fate of the red-haired pirate cadre had already appeared in their minds. After all, 2 fists are invincible to 4 hands. Nozawa and the tavern's subordinates also stood in front of the door, watching the crazy scene of Chris's 3,000 subordinates rushing up to eat. Especially Nozawa's scalp exploded. Kaido of the Beasts is right, but compared to the red-haired Shanks, it is a lot lower. It can be said that if Bai Zi, the cadre of the red-haired pirates, dies here today, he will wait for Chris 3. Man and Kaido of the Beasts will be the wrath of endless vengeance. Nozawa is convinced of this. Scoff tilde. When Nozawa's scalp was numb, a cold light suddenly appeared in front of him. The next moment, Chris and his 3 murderous subordinates bleed on the spot, and there was an invisible bloodstain on the neck. Very new world. And this is just the beginning. Chi-chi tilde tilde. Chi-chi chi-chi tilde tilde tilde. 3, 5, 10. Dao Dao Hanmang is like a poisonous snake spitting out a letter, cunningly stroking traces in the air. Every trace of Hanmang appeared, and several people were corpses on the spot. At this time, Bai Zi did not use Conqueror Hockey, nor Armament Hockey, nor did he use Shock. Shock Fruit. With the slash and the blessing of Observation Hockey, Bai Zi still entered the realm of no one, beheading more than 1,000 pirates one after another. Killing a person in 10 steps, leaving 1,000 miles behind. At this moment, Bai Zi has sublimated this sentence more than 10 times. In an instant. In about a minute, more than 1,000 people of Chris and 3 people died. The entire Nozawa tavern seemed to have formed an artificial Asura hell, and the blood of thousands of people gathered together to form a small stream. Under the oppression of the dark clouds, it was suffocating and unable to breathe. Nozawa and many local residents looked at the field in awe, looking at Bai Zi, who was covered in blood like the Shira god of war, and his eyes changed. Powerful. Horse riding, too strong. Niang Exapi, is this the strength of a bounty of 100,000 Bailey? Damn, what do the guys in Marine's headquarters eat? Are they all rice buckets? Baga, boy, you are courting death. Kill him. Go. The 3 of Chris saw that all of his men were dead, his eyes were cracked, his eyes were red, his foreheads were bulging, and his sharp fingertips were sunk into his flesh. The artificial devil fruit was activated instantly, and Bai Zi's opponent, Chris, turned into a poisonous snake with a letter, a ferocious wolf, and a fierce tiger with fangs. The most powerful Chris, although he is a snake jumping, is 4 or 5 meters tall, especially the giant-toothed tiger J Loon with ferocious fangs, which is 7 or 8 meters high. If J Claw goes down, it is estimated that the Nozawa tavern will be broken into pieces. Kid, kill my subordinates, I will let you die. Jilin's eyes were fierce, his tiger's mouth roared, and his tyranny rose to the sky. However, his last word, death, has not yet fallen, and using the silver light is like piercing the void and falling down. PFF tilde. Without the slightest stagnation, Yinmeng passed through the head of the fierce tiger with fangs, and then slammed a boulder in the back into 2 halves. The fierce and clamorous Jalen turned into a tiger that directly divided the body in half and fell to both sides. Endless blood spurted out of it, and even the poisonous snake Chris and the wild wolf Iwan were splashed all over. Chapter 11 Marine Rokushiki kills Shipshead. A lot of nonsense. When Nozawa and the others returned their gazes, the Bai Zi samurai sword was already in its sheath. Then, he raised his foot to face between the stunned poisonous snake Chris and the wild wolf Iwan, passing by, and after a few steps, Bai Zian's light voice lingered, remember in the next life, I don't know the strength of the other party. Don't do it, otherwise, you will lose your life like you are now. Chi-chi tilde. PFF tilde tilde tilde. Bai Zi's voice fell, and there was a slight pain between the necks of the poisonous snake Chris and the wild wolf Iwan, and then the bright red blood sprayed out like a fountain, and the 2 heads on the left and the right were separated from the body like this. The 2 of them didn't know when Bai Zi made his move until they died, and they didn't realize anything was wrong. Seeing this scene, Nozawa thumped his legs and knelt down in the direction of Bai Zi's departure. Bean-sized sweat beads fell from his forehead. Psi tilde tilde. That guy, what a terrifying strength. Is this the strength of the red hair pirate's cadre? It's really so terrifying. Scary, so strong. Nozawa didn't hear the words of his subordinates at all, and at this moment, what was going to happen next appeared in his mind. Bai Zi's move is tantamount to piercing the sky of the New World. Previously, he killed the giant crocodile pirates under Kaido of the Beasts, and now he has killed the giant-toothed tiger pirates, the wild wolf pirates and the viper. There are 4 pirates in the front and rear legs. It all depends on the owner of the dog. These 4 pirates are the pirates of the 4 Emperor Kaido of the Beasts. It doesn't matter if you kill the 4 pirates, this is tantamount to being in the face of the big Kaido of the Beasts. It seems that this matter has to be told to Kaido of the Beasts immediately, otherwise, when they find it, I am afraid that I may be affected by Chiyu. Yeezy quickly took care of himself and thought about the next move. Baizi dared to provoke Kaido of the Beasts, and even killed his people, but Yeezy, even if he gave him 100 courage, he would not dare to offend him. The majesty of Kaido of the Beasts. Because, since the rise of Kaido of the Beasts, everyone who has offended him has died horribly. A gust of cold wind blew, the Shira hell in front of the Nozawa Tavern. The gust of cold wind blew the smell of blood farther away, and the local residents on the island shivered one by one. See. They will never forget that scene just now. One person killed the 3 major black thieves groups under Kaido of the Beasts, killing more than 1,000 people. The host group destroys the Kaido of the Beasts' 3 pirates with a bounty of hundreds of millions, and awakens Marine Rokushiki. Congratulations to the host for winning 1,000 kills, and rewarding the host Marine Rokushiki with an upgrade card X100. 2 voices came out one after another, and the corner of Baizi's mouth curved into a radian. Marine Rokushiki, unexpectedly awakened this after the 3 waves of pirates were destroyed. Bring up the properties panel. Name, Baizi. Age, 19. Abilities, /LV5, Conqueror Hockey LV3, Armament Hockey LV2, Observation Hockey LV1, Marine Rokushiki LV2. Shock Fruit LV3. Items, none. Marine Rokushiki, it's interesting. Baizi murmured, and the introduction of Marine Rokushiki appeared in his mind. Marine Rokushiki, including a total of 6 fighting techniques beyond human limits, namely, shaving, iron block, kami-e, moon step, renkyaku, tempest kick, shigen, finger pistol. Shaved, kick the ground dozens of times in a row to generate a strong rebound to move at high speed. Iron block, make the body as hard as iron, use it for defense, and even extend attack moves. The principle is the same as hitting a wall will hurt. Marine's unique Rokushiki is used in the war on the top soon. I don't know how those marine officers will react. Of course, this Marine Rokushiki is not unique to Marine, but it is a big most users are inextricably linked with Marine. Since Rokushiki has awakened, let's try. After speaking, Baizi stepped on the ground at least dozens of times, and reappeared on the ship that had already arrived at the shore. In less than 0.1 second, it crossed at least tens of meters. Tisk tisk, as expected of Marine's unique shave, this speed is comparable to close-range teleportation. Baizi looked at the majestic sea surface, sipped his lips, moon step appeared, and immediately stepped on the air and rose into the air like teleportation. Then, the corners of his mouth curved, and Renkyaku tempest kick swept his foot towards the sea where the small waves were rolling. In an instant, a wave of small waves rushed away with Baizi's foot. Kicked on the body, absolutely no life or death. Baizi was familiar with the Marine Rokushiki, who had just awakened to level 2. At the same time, on the other side, Wano-kuni Onishima. Kaido of the Beast's headquarters, aboard the Mammoth. Beep beep, beep beep. A burly man with 2 hideous ivory decorations on his head answered the phone. This man was none other than the captain of the ship Kaido of the Beast's Mammoth, and Kaido's confidant. One of the disasters, Drought Jack. The bounty is as high as 1 billion Bailey, and the character is ruthless and cruel. He does not accept negotiation and negotiation. Everything can be solved by force. What? Those 3 wastes can't even win a newly promoted cadre, but if they die, they will die, but after all, they are members of my Kaido of the Beast's pirates, so I have to suffer the consequences. After that, Drought Jack hung up the phone and directly sent someone to check Baizi's whereabouts, ready to personally take action to deal with the kid who slapped their Kaido of the Beast's pirate group. In front of Nozawa Tavern. A burly man came from a distance, sniffing the smell of blood remaining in the air, frowning tightly, involuntarily quickening his pace, and soon came to the front of the tavern. Surprisingly, I saw the 3 Chris who were dismembered. 3 wastes, rice buckets. I told you to wait for me to come back to solve it, but... This Baizi seems to have 2 strokes, don't let me touch you, otherwise. Hip's head's eyes flickered, observation hockey covered the entire island, and immediately knew the direction of Baizi's departure, without stopping, and killed directly in the direction of Baizi's departure. After half a day. In Sipshead's field of vision, a pirate ship finally appeared, with a group of white skeletons and 3 red claw marks on the left eye. Yes, that was the flag of the red-haired pirates. Fire at full strength and stop the ship in front of me. Ha tilde tilde. Shish tilde tilde tilde. Shipshead ordered, and immediately his subordinates aimed at the target and fired more than a dozen cannonballs at the pirate ship where Baizi was. Open black lens bracket moon step shaved close black lens bracket. Void, combining marine rokushiki, S moon step with shaving, stepping on the air, instantly kicking more than a dozen cannonballs into the sea, and the next moment, more than a dozen sounds rose from the sea. Although the shaking fruit can be solved with one move, Baizi prefers to use the marine rokushiki proficiently. Open black lens bracket renkyaku tempest kick, line close black lens bracket. Quote. Baizi, who landed on the deck, turned around and poured armament hockey into his right foot. Marine rokushiki renkyaku tempest kick used it. Endless strength gathered on his right foot and swept it out. In an instant, a white light flashed away and appeared in an instant. In front of Sipshead, there was no stagnation. Sipshead was just about to react when Beiming had already passed through his body and even the ship with Sipshead was chopped into pieces by this renkyaku tempest kick. In 2 halves. Shipshead didn't even see Baizi's face, and was instantly killed by a marine rokushiki renkyaku tempest kick. No one was more useless than him. The next moment, all the men on the ship's head fell into the water and became delicious in the mouth of endless sea kings. Chapter 12 All parties are moving, the goal is Baizi. About half an hour later. Take one of the 3 plagues of the mammoth pirate ship owned by Kaido of the Beasts, Drought Jack's gigantic ship, to the place where Hip's head died. Looking at the lingering smell of blood, and more importantly, seeing only half of his confidant Sipshead's face remaining, Drought Jack was furious, his eyes swept in the direction of Baizi's disappearance, and his eyes were filled with endless ruthless light. The red-haired pirates are courting death. Dare to kill my subordinates, Baizi, the 14th cadre of Shanks, I will let you live rather than die. Drought Jack with red eyes, boundless suffocating chi rose into the sky, and the red eyes were always on the verge of eruption. No one on the ship dared to say a word. All-out pursuit. I want to see how amazing the 14th cadre of this red-haired pirate group is. Drought Jack, whose confidant was killed, with a cruel and irritable personality, ignored the unwritten agreement of the 4 emperors and decided to take action against Baizi. As for the result, he didn't want to ask, he only knew that he must kill the arrogant red-haired pirate ship. 14 officers. Otherwise, he, Drought Jack, will become the laughingstock of the whole new world. Redford. Ship, Captain, it's not good, something has happened. A red-haired pirate ship's subordinate broke in from the outside with a panic-stricken face. Shanks Beckman and the 13 cadres who were drinking in the house were all startled. What's the matter? Red-haired Shanks drank a sip of beer, still Gu Bo was not surprised. Ben Beckman and the 13 cadres around him also looked at the subordinate. Captain, something happened to Cadre Baizi. As soon as the subordinate said this, Shanks' eyes immediately showed a cold edge, and Ben Beckman also looked bad. Speak clearly. Yes. It's like this, since the Cadre Baizi killed the giant crocodile pirates, Drought Jack's subordinate Hip's Hide led the giant-toothed tiger J. Loon, the wild wolf Ivan and the viper Chris 3 pirates around the island. Cadre Baizi, but in the end more than 1,000 pirates were wiped out, the 3 viper Chris were also killed, and even Shipshead was at sea, so he should have been killed by Cadre Baizi, and now. Jack Drought, one of the three major disasters of Kaido of the Beasts, is chasing Cadre by Z quickly, fearing that he will attack Cadre by Z. Wow tilde tilde. After hearing the words of that subordinate, many cadres were not calm. What? Baizi killed Drought Jack's confidant Shipshead. This kid has stabbed a big basket. After hearing this, a cadre stood up abruptly. That kid's strength seems to have improved again. He even killed Shipshead, so it's no wonder that the Drought is furious. Ben Beckman's eyes flashed with a gleam, although Shipshead was weaker than the cadres on their ship. But not much weaker. Captain, what should I do? Baizi is still outside. If there is a Drought Jack, then... A cadre's face is heavy. The name of the Drought Jack can be said to be resounding in the New World, and all their cadres are afraid that they are not that frantic guy's opponent. The whole boat, the redhead and Ben Beckman, can totally beat it. The redhead pulled down his long cloak, swayed his empty left hand, took a sip of strong wine, and looked in the direction of Baizi, with a ruthless light. Did the Drought strike, since you dare to attack me, the leader of the Red Hair Pirates? Take action, let's go to war. The dull voice swayed in the boat. Ben Beckman and the 13 cadres all showed fierce faces. Jack's shot in the Drought was undoubtedly equivalent to detonating the Red Hair Pirates and Kaido of the Beasts Pirates. Fuse. The long-standing contradictions erupted. Immediately, the red-haired pirate ship Redford headed towards Baizi with all its strength. Quietly, this news spread like wildfire, and the whole New World was plunged into a riot, and the initiator of this riot was the newly promoted 14th cadre of the Red Hair Pirates. Nozawa Tavern. The graceful Nozawa stared at the newspaper in his hand in horror, unable to move away from it for a long time. That Baizi, he even dared to kill Shipshead, one of the three disasters, Drought Jack's confidant. This is a big deal. Drought Jack and the red-haired pirates are all heading towards Baizi. They are the forces of the four emperors, and another big event has happened in the New World. Nozawa never imagined that the Red Hair Pirates would actually go to war with Kaido of the Beasts for the sake of Baizi's cadre. This posture completely explains everything, but, just relying on Kaido of the Beasts alone, Drought Jack is no match for the Red Hair Pirates. Marine Headquarters, Marineford. Sengoku Fleet Admiral Office. What? Akainu drove the battleship to the location of the red-haired pirates Shirasawa. Asshole. Send someone to call him back immediately. My plans were all disrupted by him. Sengoku the Buddha's face was ashen as he listened to the news reported by his subordinates. That Marine Admiral Akainu, who was too undisciplined, slammed his fist on the table with a pop. Yuan. Fleet Admiral, Akainu Admiral's battleship can't be contacted. Akainu Admiral left a sentence before leaving. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to catch these pirates in one sweep. As long as the pirates are wiped out, Akainu will come back and let him go. Asshole. That bastard. Listening to the message from his subordinates, Sengoku the Buddha's lungs exploded with anger, and in a few days, he will publicly execute Ace, the son of One Piece King of Pirates Roger, and now Akainu has a new branch, which undoubtedly completely disrupted his plan. Damn Akainu. Sengoku the Buddha took a deep breath and began to issue orders one after another. Send orders to all the marine divisions, and gather all the elites to gather in Marineford, make no mistake. Also, go to this place and invite two people, one named Fujitora Isho and the other named Ryokugyu. Orders go on and on. As for Fujitora Isho and Ryokugyu, they are the focus of their marine headquarters. They are the candidates to be positioned as Marine Admiral in the future. On the other hand, they are also the backers of Sengoku the Buddha against the top war to prevent accidents. And Akainu is a very important part of it. His sudden departure during this period has undoubtedly severely disrupted the plan of Sengoku the Buddha. If there is a conflict with the Red Hair Pirates and Kaido of the Beasts, the consequences will definitely not be what he wanted to see. When the clouds were moving, the galloping Drought Jack finally found the trace of Baizi, the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates, and Baizi was not even Hipshead who was killed by him before. No. A drought attacked by Kaido of the Beasts, one of the three disasters, quietly kicked off. Chapter 13 Awakened Gravity Fruit, Admiral Akainu killed. Thousands of miles of clear sky, blue sea and blue sky. A super pirate ship, with a mammoth skull pattern flag hoisted in the wind, one of the 3 plagues of Kaido of the beasts, Drought Jack's ship killed at sea. Looking at the small broken ship opposite, with the red-haired pirate flag on it, the eyes are full of cold prey. It was this kid who killed his confidant, Hipshead, and even killed the 4 pirates of Kaido of the beasts. New accounts and old accounts, count together. What an arrogant red-haired pirate boy, since you killed my Kaido of the beasts, let me die. The voice fell, and suddenly, the mammoth's ear-piercing shriek turned into a substantial sound wave and swept away towards Baizi, who was like a boat, and in the blink of an eye, he came to Baizi. If this attack were to fall, the boat under Baizi would definitely be instantly shattered into pieces. But it was Baizi's right palm that trembled slightly, the palm covered by the armament armor, and the tremor fruit directly slammed into the air, slapping the incoming sonic attack to one side, and in the next instant, a wave of dozens of meters splashed on the left side of the sea. Drought Jack was stunned when he saw this, but he didn't expect this kid to be able to withstand the sonic shock. As for Jack's many confidants and crew members, their eyes were full of horror. Killed a pirate with a bounty of 300 million before relying on this kind of sonic shock. There are 2 times, but you are still going to die today. Drought Jack, with a fierce look on his feet, wiped the deck under his feet, and in the next instant armament observation hockey fully opened, and punched the sky and the earth violently, slammed into the ship where Baizi was, and made a quick battle. Although he was impulsive, he was not a fool. The temperament of the hare, I am afraid that it will not take long to come. Baizi also rubbed the soles of his feet, Moonstep shot straight into the sky, and attacked, armament covered the entire fist, and the fruit was blessed, and then Conqueror Hockey went all out to the limit. The terrifying Conqueror Hockey coerced the 4 poles, and many of Drought Jack's subordinates rolled their eyes and fainted in an instant. Many confidants stared at the oncoming coercion centered on Baizi in the field, and everyone's eyes glared. Gotta stick out. What did they see? Conqueror. Conqueror Hockey. The 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates. Has Conqueror Hockey. The 2 fists collided in an instant, and the unparalleled energy overflowed and the water surface below the 2 pulled out a deep ditch of several 10 feet, and the nearby sea surface soared by several meters. Baizi's original ship was also shattered into pieces under the endless Conqueror Hockey, and even a ship that was closer to Drought Jack was shattered by the impact. Many of Drought Jack's confidants who had never been in a coma had their eyes fixed, completely unable to believe what was happening in front of them. Powerful. Too strong. That guy, the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates is at the same level as their captain. How can it be? How is this possible? Crack tilde tilde. Just as Drought Jack's many confidants were horrified, the crisp sound of bone cracking instantly spread from the air. The next moment, they saw Baizi under the moon step, which moved almost instantaneously, and even used shaved and iron blocks to support his legs, and in the air, he carried out all-round slaughter and beating against the captain they thought was invincible, Drought Jack. How possible? All of Drought Jack's henchmen have their eyes shattered. The 2 are not evenly matched. Baizi, the cadre of the red-haired pirates, actually completely defeated their Drought Captain Jack. How come? How could that guy be so strong? Seriously terrified. No wonder tilde. No wonder this guy is not afraid of their arrival at all, and the strength of this guy is terrifying and outrageous. The whole sky, Conqueror Hockey is wanton, and the sea surface is suppressed by this kind of pressure to sink a few points. As for Baizi, it is the flowing water used by marine Rokushiki, which is smooth and natural. Drought Jack also made a move, but under Shirasawa marine Rokushiki Kami-e, he easily avoided his attack. Marine Rokushiki's upgrade card constantly coming to his ears, Baizi became more and more energetic. At this time, he could be said to be more and more energetic, and marine Rokushiki's use became more and more pure. Ding! Congratulations to the host Marine Rokushiki for upgrading to LV2. Ding! Congratulations to the host Marine Rokushiki for upgrading to LV3. Ding! Congratulations to the host Marine Rokushiki for upgrading to LV4. Quote ellipsis quote. I don't know how long it took. By Z's Renkyaku, Tempest Kick suddenly attacked Drought Jack, and Jack slammed into the pirate ship Mammoth like a cannonball, forcibly embedded in the body. Drought Jack's eyes were wide open, and the blood was gushing out from his mouth, and a small stream formed in front of him in a short while. Drought Jack, one of the 3 disasters of Kaido of the Beasts, was directly beaten by Baizi and lost his fighting power. Boss. Captain, are you all right? Jack, who had reacted in a daze, protected all of them in it, and stared wildly at the other pirate ship that was in a coma. All the terrifying battle scenes just appeared in his mind. Riding a horse, with this strength, is this guy really just a cadre of the Red Hair Pirates? Bring up the properties panel. Name, Baizi. Age, 19. Abilities, /LV6, Conqueror Hockey LV4, Armament Hockey LV3, Observation Hockey LV2, Marine Rokushiki LV5. Shock Fruit LV4. Items, none. Congratulations to the host for killing and slaughtering Kaido of the Beasts Drought Jack, and awakening the Gravity Fruit. Note, this system provides devil fruits, completely fearless of water and sea stone. Quote. Before Baizi could be happy, a voice appeared in his mind again, which immediately made Baizi's eyes bloom with brilliance. Gravity Fruit. Motherfucker. Marine Admiral Fujitora Isho sounded in Baizi's mind for the first time, a ruthless man with outstanding combat power, but now he should be in the Marine headquarters. Clap 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 tilde tilde tilde. In the silent field, nearly 10 Marine warships suddenly surrounded the field. Wearing the cloak of justice and smoking a cigar, Marine Admiral Akainu finally arrived and happened to see the scene here. Marine Admiral Kai. Akainu. Akainu of Magma Devil Fruit. It's broken, how did he come? The eyes of many of Drought Jack's confidants are full of despair, and even Drought Jack is full of fear. Hey tilde. Looks like I missed a good show tilde tilde. I didn't expect that the Red Hair Pirates would have such a skilled cadre who mastered Marine Rokushiki, tisk tisk tilde tilde. Baizi, during this time, he was very active in the New World. Akainu Admiral, who held his shoulders with both hands, looked at the field playfully. You bastard pirates, it seems that today's harvest is good. We've already captured Ace, the Sinner's remnant son from One Piece, King of Pirates Roger. If we add Kaido of the Beasts, Drought Jack and the Red Hair Pirates evil cadre, this will be more perfect. Red Dog Akainu said this. Baizi's heart was shocked. Ace was arrested. Has Blackbeard already won? It seems that it is still a step too late, and war seems to be inevitable. Boy, your strength is good, but unfortunately you're a pirate. You cut off your arms. I'll spare your life. The Red Dog Akainu glanced at Baizi, who was standing on Jack's pirate ship, with a playful look. Completely I didn't pay attention to this flamboyant boy. Scoff tilde. Let me cut off my arms. Baizi looked at the Red Dog Akainu on the opposite side like an idiot, slightly held the samurai sword in his hand, and scorned Isho. What are you? Chapter 14_Tough Redhead. What are you? After Baizi's words, the corners of the mouths of many of Jack's confidants twitched, and a heart was directly in his throat, and his eyes were full of astonishment when he looked at Baizi. Does this guy know who he's talking to? Akainu Admiral, the top fighting force of the Marine headquarters. I don't know how many pirate souls go to hell under its hands. It can be said that the word Akainu is the nightmare of most pirates in the New World. Whenever Akainu strikes, it definitely means a disaster. Not only Drought Jack's confidant, but Captain Akainu's many Marines are also turning their calves, secretly thinking that this kid is over. As expected. Hearing Baizi's words, Akainu frowned slightly, and then his eyes flickered with ruthlessness. Oh, very good. The Red Hair Pirates seem to be getting tougher and tougher over the years, even a small cadre dares to do this. Talk to me. If that's the case, then go to die. Open black lens bracket meteor volcano close black lens bracket. It is a super trick to come up, and this posture is completely a trend to solve by Z. In an instant, a magma meteorite appeared in the sky, and it attacked towards by Z. If this stance fell, I was afraid that Jack's clothes would be turned into fly ashes in the drought. Baizi saw the magma meteorite launched by Akainu in the air, and the corner of his mouth pulled a radian. The gravity fruit immediately acted on the magma meteorite, and under the simultaneous action of gravity and the shock fruit, it turned into an invisible big hand. Under the push of Z, all of them fell into the river water. Blocked. Many of Drought Jack's subordinates looked at the field in confusion. Akainu Admiral's meteor volcano was actually blocked. You must know that this was a move that their captains were very afraid of. Drought Jack's eyes turned gloomy when he looked at Baizi again. Apparently, he didn't expect that this kid would be able to pick up meteor volcano from Akainu. Devil fruit ability, so. Before Akainu could finish speaking, there was a pop in the field, and a pirate ship fell from the sky, making the sound of a giant palm slapping the water. Redford. As soon as the pirate ship appeared, Jack Drought and many of his henchmen recognized the pirate ship. They didn't expect the red hair to come so quickly. As for Akainu, he snorted coldly and muttered to himself, "Is it finally here?" Redhead Shanks. Akainu's eyes flashed brightly, and the ship in front of him was the red hair pirates. If these pirates were wiped out in one fell swoop today, there would be only 3 emperors left in the New World. Cadre Baizi, are you okay? We're not too late. Ben Beckman called Baizi to the boat, and when he saw that he was fine, he asked, but he looked at Drought Jack, who was seriously injured, and thought it was Akainu. Shot. I'm fine. Baizi prevaricates. He originally wanted to practice hand brushing with Akainu, but since Shanks and the others are here, he doesn't need to do it himself. You are the red-haired Shanks, one of the 4 emperors of the New World. Akainu glanced over the red-haired and the others, and finally his eyes fell on Shanks. He felt the extreme danger from this one-armed man. Presumptuous, our captain's name is yours. A cadre glared at Marine Akainu Admiral. Others were afraid of this Marine's top combat power, Akainu. Mention Akainu, Sengoku the Buddha came, and they still do. This is Akainu Admiral, one of the 3 admirals in the Marine headquarters. I have long admired the name. The red-haired gentleman said, but he couldn't see the hockey that the 4 emperors should have. HMPH, it seems that your pirate team has got a good cadre. You can even defeat Kaido of the Beasts, Confidant, Drought Jack, and also use our Marine Rokushiki. It's kind of interesting. Quote ? As soon as Akainu said this, everyone in the red-haired pirates looked at Drought Jack on the mammoth. Drought Jack was not seriously injured by Akainu, but by Z. Usopp and the 13 cadres were all stunned, and the many pirates on the pirate ship were the bosses with their mouths open, and they were all grinning to the back of their ears. Baizi defeated Kaido of the Beasts, henchman Drought Jack. My god, how is this possible? That guy is so awesome now tilde. That's Drought Jack, and from Akainu's mouth, that proves it's right. And, not only that. Baizi not only defeated Drought Jack, but also mastered Marine Rokushiki. This is incredible. How long have they been separated from Baizi? This guy even knows Marine Rokushiki, but how did he do it? You know, there are only a handful of people who can control Marine Rokushiki on the Marine side. Since everyone is here, let's take care of you pirates together today. Akainu took a cigar, exhaled a breath of smoke, and looked directly at the red-haired Shanks. Sigh, I haven't been active for a long time, I'm here. Before Ben Beckman could finish speaking, the red-haired Shanks stopped Ben Beckman with his right hand, and the corner of his mouth curved into an arc. All come. Seeing the red-haired Shanks take action, Jack Drought and many of his subordinates froze, and their eyes were filled with intense fear. HMPH, it's the same for anyone who comes, no one can change your fate. Open black lens bracket dog biting crimson lotus close black lens bracket. Akainu's right fist suddenly slammed out, and the entire arm of the magma's right hand turned into a dog's head. The surrounding air was burned and deformed, and the sea surface was filled with mist, which was caused by the hesitation and high temperature. With one move, the temperature between heaven and earth soared by an unknown number of degrees. Armament hockey, slash. Black armament was attached to the red-haired right-hand katana sword, and then a white on swept through the void, and the energy ripped through the air and attacked both sides, facing Akainu's attack. Conqueror hockey instantly has red hair as the center, covering the main sea area, and it can be clearly felt several kilometers away. A slash, Akainu's dog-biting crimson lotus was torn apart quickly and forcibly, and instantly slashed into Akainu's chest. In the next instant, Akainu flew upside down more than 10 meters like a cannonball. Appearing again, there are already bloodstains running across the mouth of Shanko. Defeat with a knife. Hit Akainu, one of the 3 Admiral Marines, and this is the true strength of the red-haired Shanks. Gouda tilde. Gouda tilde Gouda tilde tilde tilde. Akainu's ships were all dumbfounded when they saw this scene. Their Akainu Admiral was not a red-haired opponent, and was severely damaged by a single move. The red hair of one of the 4 emperors is so strong. Many of Jack's subordinates in the drought did not dare to take a sip, even Jack, because he knew very well that the red-haired Shanks in front of him was very strong, and he couldn't deal with it at all. PFF tilde. Akainu, who returned to his human form, sprayed out a mouthful of blood immediately, but fell to his knees on the ground. He never expected Shanks, the captain of the red-haired pirates, to be so powerful. Is this the strength of the 4 emperors? Not enough, his strength is far from enough. Go away. I'll give Sengoku a face this time, and next time, it won't be so easy. The red-haired glanced at Akainu, completely ignoring him. Although Akainu's power is strong, he is stronger. Shanks, you. Next time, I will definitely beat you. Frustration, endless frustration rose from Akainu's heart. He completely underestimated the strength of the red-haired Shanks. Withdraw. Akainu took a deep look at Bai Zi, who, like him, mastered marine rokushiki as much as he did, waved his hand, and ordered the army to withdraw. Drought Jack, get out too. Redhead retracted his gaze and landed on Drought Jack again. Go back and tell Kaido of the beasts. I will not investigate this matter for the time being. If he wants to avenge the 4 pirates, I will accompany him to the end, even if. Go to war. Chapter 15 _ Meet the future 2 Marine Admiral. Redford. After Marine Admiral Akainu and Drought Jack left, there were only the red hair pirates left in this sea area. Many pirate members on board looked at Bai Zi with full of admiration and admiration. Drought Jack, that is. Their Bai Zi cadre even defeated Drought Jack. You must know that Drought Jack is the 3 major disasters under Kaido's thinning, and the bounty is as high as 1 billion Bailey. According to rumors, the places where Jack passes by Drought are like natural disasters. I didn't expect that your kid's strength has improved so much, and Jack Drought is no match for you. Ben Beckman looked at Bai Zi, who had not been separated for a long time, and couldn't help feeling filled with emotion. After this battle, the name of Bai Zi is afraid that it will become famous in the whole new world. After all, being able to defeat Drought Jack is not something that only one group can do. By the way, Captain, I got the news from Ace. Bai Zi thought of what Akainu said before. Ace has been captured by Marine at this time, and will be publicly executed in a few days. Ace was caught. When many cadres heard about it, they all changed their expressions. If the Whitebeard pirates knew about this, they would probably go crazy. Have you been caught? No wonder I got the news before that all the elites of the Marine divisions have been transferred to the Marine headquarters, so it is. When Ben Beckman heard Bai Zi's words, he nodded clearly, which obviously matched what happened in Marine before, and the place where Ace was executed was probably in Marineford, the headquarters of Marine. Just then, a signal pigeon flew overhead, and Ben Beckman bought a newspaper and read the latest news. A little later. Sure enough, something big is going to happen. Ace will be publicly executed in Marineford 3 days later, and the traitor Blackbeard that Ace chased before has now become King Shichibukai. The two news came into the ears of many cadres, and their expressions changed. When it comes to Blackbeard, everyone's mind can't help but see the picture of Blackbeard fighting with their captain before. Although their captain is a little careless, Blackbeard can leave 3 traces in the corner of Shanks' eyes, which is enough to show the extraordinariness of this person. The mountains and the rain are coming, and the new world seems to be about to change. The red-haired Shanks murmured, and a certain officer flashed a bright light. The next moment, he recovered from boredom again and entered the ship. ... Until the next day. Kuro Star, who went to Whitebeard's side, came back. The news of Ace's public execution 3 days later had spread throughout the new world, but after Kuro Star came back and saw Baizi, his mind could no longer be calm. Captain, Whitebeard learned that Ace was captured by Marine and imprisoned Marine's headquarters, and wanted to join us to rescue Ace. He said that after this time, the Whitebeard pirates owe you a big favor. Kuro Star roughly said this: I've talked about my trip to the Whitebeard pirates. Humanity. Whitebeard looks really pissed. Captain, then we, after listening to Kuro Star's words, a cadre asked Shanks their backbone. Hee, Marine made a big deal this time. It seems that Whitebeard also knows that this is Marine's conspiracy. I'm afraid that Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin will also make a move. Shanks looked towards Marineford, where in 3 days there would be a shocking battle that would shock the new world. Moreover, the redhead is very clear that if Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin shoot, the target person is definitely not Marine but must be Whitebeard. There is no doubt about this. It seems that Whitebeard's situation is not good. The balance of the 4 emperors is about to be broken. Since that's the case, how can the battle of the top 3 days later be without my red-haired pirates? The corner of the red-haired mouth curved into a mysterious arc. Compared to Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin, he preferred Whitebeard to sit with the throne of the 4 emperors. After all, under his jurisdiction, people's lives are very good. In order to show sincerity, Baizi will let you represent our red-hair pirates to the Whitebeard pirates to negotiate the alliance. The red hair looked at Baizi and said, originally he wanted to let the deputy captain Ben Beckman go. After all, to show their sincerity, but now that Baizi has the strength to defeat Jack Drought, it is not a bad idea to let him go. Okay. Baizi nodded and agreed when he heard the redhead's words. After all, the strength of many captains of the Whitebeard pirates is undeniable, especially the captain of the first team, Marco, who is said to be no less powerful than Ben Beckman. As for the existence of the other squads, the captains of other squads are not weak either. After rectifying for a while, Baizi took his pirate ship and sailed in the direction of the Whitebeard pirates. Kuro Star, who was the guide, had mixed feelings. The two came to the red-haired pirates together, and they had just broken through the barrier of intern, but Baizi had already become a cadre, and when he came back, he heard that this guy was actually one of the 3 confidants of Kaido of the Beasts. 1. Drought Jack has been defeated. That kind of existence, but Kuro Star didn't dare to think about it. Quietly, Baizi has reached the achievement that he could not achieve in his entire life. About half a day later, when they were about to enter the force of the Whitebeard pirates, 3 marine ships appeared on the sea, next to a small island not far from Baizi. The huge marine vessel, the Star of Kuro, and the newly established Baizi's subordinates were startled. They didn't expect to encounter Marine after half a day out of the port. Of a sudden, 2 Marine Rear Admiral wearing Justice Marine clothes appeared in Baizi's field of vision, and when he saw their voices, Baizi's eyes froze. Fujitora Isho. Ryokugyu. Marine 3 Admiral together with Kizaru 2 years after the Battle of the Top. I really didn't expect to meet these 2 people here. The combat power of these 2 people is now afraid that they have just been officially launched by the Marine headquarters, but the combat power of the 2 is extremely powerful. If they are brought under their command, then Thinking of the two of them taking action in the Battle of the Top, I was excited to think about that scene. Don't know how Sengoku the Buddha would feel when he saw the two of them appearing at the top of the battle. The Red Hair Pirates, that's the banner of the Red Hair Pirates. A Marine stared wide-eyed when he saw the flag on the Bai-Z ship, and screamed, and everyone on the 3 warships looked over at once. The red-haired pirates. Although Fujitora Isho was blind, observation haki instantly shrouded this sea area, even when he knew that the people who came were indeed the red-haired pirates. Ha ha ha, the red-haired pirates, you have encountered such a tough character when you first joined Marine, you must fight. Ryokugyu, who was hot and impulsive, heard that, his eyes locked on the pirate ship in front of him, and his fighting spirit soared. As a friend, Fujitora Isho was speechless with his right hand on his forehead. Similarly, observation haki heard Ryokugyu's arrogant words, and a plan to conquer came to Bai-Z's mind, and the corner of his mouth pulled out the arc of a hunter looking at a fat prey, staring at Fujitora Isho and Ryokugyu. Chapter 16 halfway through, the abduction succeeded. Bai-Z. This guy is the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates, and Jack of the Drought was defeated by him. Scary guy. Marine on the warship saw the people on the flag of the red-haired pirate ship on the opposite side, and there was an uproar, and people panicked. Bai-Z's heavy damage to Kaido of the Beast's confidant, Jack, has become famous in the New World. Boy, if you can beat Drought Jack, you must be very good at it. Let's fight. Ryokugyu, whose fighting spirit has soared, sees Bai-Z, and his violent elements are fully activated. Every time he fights with Fujitora Isho, this guy uses various excuses to push it away. Now that he has finally found a good person, how can he miss it? A fight, yes. However, I have a condition. He glanced at Ryokugyu deeply, and he still knew something about this guy's temperament. Conditions. What conditions? As long as you can fight, I will promise you any condition. Ryokugyu banged his fists, his terrifying strength shaking the air, showing his terrifying strength all the time. Many Marines who came to pick up Fujitora Isho and Ryokugyu, their eyes are straight. What is Ryokugyu Rear Admiral saying? They will agree to any conditions, my god. Very good, as long as I win, you come with me. As soon as Bai-Z said this, the Kuro star on the ship's eyelids jumped wildly. God, what did he hear? This guy is going to shoot Marine's Rear Admiral. Haha, good. Let's go. Ryokugyu was so arrogant. Haha, Isho immediately crashed into the shore like a titan and headed towards the jungle of the island. Captain, you are? A pirate on the boat asked in astonishment, looking at the development in the field. You wait here, and I'll find you 2 co-captains. Speaking, he glanced at Ryokugyu with deep meaning, and then entered the jungle of the island. Fujitora Isho frowned slightly and entered the jungle with the 2 of them. The remaining pirates and the Marines on the 3 battleships were all dumbfounded. Islands, clearings deep in the jungle. Boy, I'm about to start. Ryokugyu, who couldn't wait, was filled with Ling Ran's fighting intent. Let's get started. Remember our terms, if you lose you have to follow me. HMPH, want to beat me Ryokugyu, want to be beautiful. A bang, under Ryokugyu's foot, the entire island trembled slightly, and immediately turned into a wild bull, smashing towards Bai-Z like lightning. The face of Ryokugyu's domineering blow to tear the air, Marine Rokushiki shaved the soles of Bai-Z's feet, and the power of the shocking fruit poured into his right fist, and smashed it directly with a hard steel punch. The ground within 5 feet of Bai-Z sank suddenly. Boom tilde. The fists collided, making an explosion-like sound, and a burst of energy exploded, and Ryokugyu instantly turned into a cannonball and flew backwards. Fujitora Isho, who is extremely sensitive to gravity, frowned. How could the fruit of gravity be possible? The moment of gravity just now was absolutely right. How could this kid? Ryokugyu, who was more than 10 meters away, stared at the unmoved Bai-Z opposite him in disbelief. One failed to succeed, and immediately Ryokugyu attacked again with lightning speed. In an instant, the sound of bang 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 lingered in the ears. Congratulations to the host's gravity fruit being upgraded to LV2. Congratulations to the host's gravity fruit being upgraded to LV3. Congratulations to the host gravity fruit for being upgraded to LV4. Quote. I have to say that in the series of battles, Ryokugyu deserves to be the existence of Marine Admiral in the future. This combat power and fighting ability are by no means covered. Not only the gravity fruit, but even Marine Rokushiki, Gen fruit, armament hockey, and observation hockey, all soared at a considerable speed. It could be said that every second Baizi's combat power was undergoing qualitative changes. After half an hour, Ryokugyu was hit by Baizi once again, and landed more than 10 meters away. The 3 Marines and Kuro Star and a group of pirates on the shore were all dumbfounded. The island was sunk for several points. In the jungle field of the island, there were many holes that had been devastated by the battle between the two, while Ryokugyu was covered in bruises. It can be said that within half an hour, Fujitora Isho Observation Hockey, who was beside him, twitched his mouth. During this time, he completely looked at the cadre of the red-haired pirates, and he was extremely sure that the young man in front of him had the same ability to control gravity as him. Bring up the properties panel. Name, Baizi. Age, 19. Abilities, /LV7, Conqueror Hockey LV5, Armament Hockey LV5, Observation Hockey LV4, Marine Rokushiki LV6. Devil Fruit, Shock Fruit LV6, Gravity Fruit LV5. Items, none. Looking at the attribute panel in front of him, the corner of Baizi's mouth raised a satisfied arc. Mummy, Fujitora's ability is the same as yours, it's too embarrassing. Ryokugyu stepped on the ground with 1 foot, and the whole island trembled for 3 points. How Ryokugyu, come with me. HMPH, you're good, but you want me to go with you, infatuated. A bang. Before Ryokugyu could finish speaking, the endless pressure of gravity fell from the sky, and Ryokugyu was overwhelmed with a bang. This is, to what extent does this guy use the gravity fruit? Fujitora Isho looked at the field and was shocked. The force of gravity alone suppressed Ryokugyu to this extent, and he asked himself that he couldn't do it. Ryokugyu is afraid to lose. How's it going, take it? Baizi smiled and asked Ryokugyu, who was having difficulty lifting his feet. Dissatisfied. Ryokugyu grinned, his eyes rounded. Stubborn Ryokugyu, the fruit of gravity increased again, and with a bang, the entire island was instantly crushed by Baizi, and it was abruptly submerged several inches underwater. The 3 marine warships outside the island and the Kuro Star and others were directly suspicious. One blow, Ryokugyu's whole body was about to sink into the mud, and he said in exasperation as if struggling to surrender, I've served it, I've served it. Withdrawing the gravity, Ryokugyu jumped up from the ground in relief, and regained his vitality again. It was hard to imagine that under the heavy pressure just now, there was no essential damage to Ryokugyu. As promised, I'll go with you, Ryokugyu. Ryokugyu looked at Baizi with fear. This guy looked slender, but he didn't expect to be so strong when he started. That's good. After finishing Ryokugyu, Shirasawa set his eyes on Fujitora Isho. Fujitora, what about you? This. Hey, what is this? What are you thinking about, Fujitora? Those Marines are just looking at our strength, and you see how they treated the people on the island. Ryokugyu rolled his eyes at Fujitora and said sternly, he didn't want to be separated from Fujitora, and gave Baizi a meaningful look, which meant that there was no lack of a gesture of taking credit. Seeing Ryokugyu's appearance so quick to correct his identity, Baizi was of course deeply relieved and looked at Fujitora. I know you have justice in your heart, but what do you think Marine is now? You should know the reputation of the red hair pirates. Where I have red hair, you should have never heard of oppressing people. As far as I know, the red hair pirates have helped countless islands to be protected from pirates. Quote. Of course, Fujitora knew that Baizi was right, but he was also very entangled in his heart. With this person's ability, his future achievements might not be higher than Marine's, and he brought the so-called Tenryubito down from the altar. Well, I promise to go with you. However, I will not shoot Marine. After all, I have been greatly favored by Marine. Yes. Of course, Fujitora's request Baizi will not refuse, after all. It is enough to have Ryokugyu to deal with Marine. He kidnapped Fujitora and Ryokugyu, who had just been wooed by the Marine headquarters. I don't know how the Marine headquarters would react to this. Chapter 17 _ This man is so strong. When the three came out, the entire island was sunk. Okay, you go and tell the people in the Marine headquarters that Fujitora and I will be with Shirasawa from now on. We are no longer Marine but pirates. Ryokugyu was staring at Marine's stern eyes on the three battleships. Haki declared, as if he didn't think it was enough, and said, if those people in the Marine headquarters are not convinced, they can send people like Admiral or something like a dozen or 20. Accompany me to practice my hands .. Fujitora Isho. Baizi smiled and said nothing. Ryokugyu's temperament to not be a pirate is really inferior. Okay, let's go. Baizi, who had successfully planned a perfect plan, with the corners of his mouth curved, with the addition of Fujitora Ryokugyu, Baizi's team instantly grew by an unknown amount. As for the Kuro Star and the people on the pirate ship, they were all dumbfounded. They were not dreaming. The two Marine rear admirals were fooled into the thief ship by their captains. For a moment, they all felt that there was something wrong with the two people's brains, and they were squeezed by the door. It was really ridiculous what happened in front of them. It's just, how did they know that Fujitora and Ryokugyu were only found and requisitioned by Marine yesterday, and they were given the rank of Rear Admiral, and that person didn't have much interest in Marine at all, let alone the so-called sense of belonging. Marine's stunned eyes as the three battleships stepped forward, Fujitora and Ryokugyu disappeared into the sea in such a grand manner, and what was left on the Marine deck was Fujitora's Marine costumes. ... After a few minutes. Marine headquarters, Marineford. Sengoku the Buddha office. With a snap, Sengoku the Buddha slapped the table with a slap, and a confidant on the opposite side jumped in fright. What did you say? Fujitora and Ryokugyu were kidnapped by the 14th officer of the Red Hair Pirates. Hearing the news from the other side, Sengoku the Buddha almost exploded his lungs. Mad, how the hell could this happen? The confidant who came to report the news on the opposite side, his calf trembled and regretted coming in at this time. Fleet Admiral was so angry that it was the first time he had seen him. What's the matter, say it. Hanging up the phone, Sengoku the Buddha took a sip of tea and confronted his confidant in shock. Yuan, Fleet Admiral, that, Baizi, the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates, went to sea for the Whitebeard pirates. It seems that the two parties intend to form an alliance. Peef .. Before the confidant could finish his words, Sengoku the Buddha spit out a sip of tea, his eyes widened, and he smashed the teacup in his hand with a snap. Bastard. Baizi. It's that Baizi again. Quote. Because of the news of Akainu's serious injury yesterday, Sengoku the Buddha was in a bad mood at first, but now Sengoku the Buddha almost didn't get suffocated from his internal injuries. Immediately afterwards, there was no doubt that Sengoku the Buddha, the headquarters of the Marine, started a fury. The two rear admirals of the dignified Marine were abducted by the red-haired pirates. When this incident came out, their Marines were afraid that they would become a joke in the New World. 2 days later. Under the blue sky and above the blue waters, several giant pirate groups appeared in front of them, the most striking of which was the Moby Dick. On the main ship, Whitebeard sat on the seat coercively, drinking heavily, but the atmosphere on the ship seemed a little depressing. Apparently, this was troubled by the fact that Ace was about to be publicly executed in a few days. Captain Jozu, the red hair pirates are here. As soon as Baizi's ship appeared, one of Jozu's men immediately reported to Jozu, the captain of the 3rd Division. "Oh, are you here, Tilda?" The captain of the 3rd Division, Jozu, heard that. His eyes fell on the pirate ship that came not far away, and he immediately locked on Baizi's body. "I didn't expect it to be the 14th cadre of the Red Hair Pirates, and I have long admired it. I heard that a few days ago, Your Excellency severely damaged Kaido of the Beast's confidant, Jack, and he really became famous." As the captain of the 3rd Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, Jozu's eyes flickered. 2. As an ally, although this is a bit inappropriate, this matter is related to Ace's rescue plan, and Jozu has to take it seriously. "Hey, fight, I'm the best at it. Pick me up." Baizi could reply. Ryokugyu, who was beside him, flashed and appeared in front of Diamond Jozu in an instant. Open black lens bracket diamond defense close black lens bracket. Without stopping, Jozu immediately turned his fists into diamonds, forming a diamond barrier in front of him, because he felt the extreme danger to his life from the punch from the opposite side. Bang! Punch! Jozu, the captain of the 3rd Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, instantly turned into a cannonball, and appeared on the main ship of the Moby Squeak. Captain of the first team, Marco, reacted immediately, caught Jozu who fell from the sky, and slid for a few meters before stopping. Crack tilde tilde tilde. The unbreakable diamond barrier in front of Jozu's body cracked in an instant and then smashed into pieces with a clatter, and a trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. A punch. Its power is so terrifying. Until now, Jozu didn't feel like his own hand, and he didn't have the slightest sense of who he was just now. He was so strong. What? I'm sorry to get excited for a while. I didn't expect you to fight so hard. Ryokugyu, step back. He glared at Ryokugyu. This guy was also drunk. As soon as he heard the battle, he was like a chicken blood. He has been challenged by Ryokugyu a lot in the past 2 days, and of course Baizi is also happy. "Oh, it's the captain." Hearing Baizi's words, Ryokugyu turned back behind Baizi like a child who had done something wrong, but his eyes were on Marco, the phoenix that Jozu caught easily. "Who is that kid who just shot? His strength is really good." Whitebeard, who was sitting in his seat, looked like an indomitable giant, and a loud sound wave attacked. Ryokugyu's pupils shrank. "This man is so strong." "This person is my sub-captain named Ryokugyu," Baizi said lightly, looking directly at Whitebeard without being humble or arrogant. "Oh, your subordinate." Whitebeard squinted his eyes slightly and looked at Baizi. "The redhead has hired an incredible cadre again. You are very strong. I heard that you have severely damaged Kaido of the Beast's confidant, Jack Drought." "It's just a fluke. The Gwei pirates are also full of talented people." "Ha ha ha, the boy is very good at talking, but who is the other blind man beside you? This person should not be incompetent." Whitebeard's eyes were very vicious, and his eyes were locked on the man with the samurai sword for the first time. On Fujitora Isho. Fujitora Isho, Vice Captain. After Fujitora Isho finished speaking, he stopped speaking. As soon as the words came out, everyone around was in unison, and they couldn't help looking at Ryokugyu who had just defeated Jozu. Another deputy captain. How much has the strength of the Red Hair Pirates soared during this period of time? Chapter 18_New Target, Impel Down. Moby Dick, above. Vista, the captain of the 5th Division, took over the newspaper in his hand and flipped through it. As soon as he opened the first page, he was struck by lightning, and his eyes were round. After a long time, his eyes returned to his senses, and they fell back to the 2 people behind Baizi in the field. Their eyes changed. Marine, S2 Rear Admiral, Fujitora Isho and Ryokugyu, quit Marine to join the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates, Shirazawa. Psi tilde. These 2 are Marine Rear Admiral. Foil Vista's eyes flashed, and as soon as these words came out, many captains and pirate members of the Moby Dick were all shocked, and their eyes fell on Ryokugyu and Fujitora Isho. Marine Rear Admiral. This guy actually made 2 Marine Rear Admirals serve for him. The 14 cadres of the Red Hair Pirates are really not easy. Marine Rear Admiral, even on Marine's side, is a top-notch existence, not to mention Ryokugyu's combat power just now, its strength is definitely far beyond the Rear Admiral level. Mad, how did Baizi do this? It's interesting now, Sengoku is going to be mad these days. As for Sengoku the Buddha's mind, Whitebeard was all too familiar with this old friend and rival. Fujitora Isho and Ryokugyu in front of them are probably their marine headquarters, secretly hidden masters, or even admiral candidates. After all, the attack just now was not far from admiral-level combat power. If this is the case, Baizi can subdue the two in front of him. I am afraid that his combat power should be at the admiral level at this time. Has the red hair found a top-level expert at the level of Ben Beckman this time? Whitebeard figured out the powerful relationship in an instant, that is to say, this Baizi in front of him really has the qualifications to talk to him, even though he is only a cadre of the Red Hair Pirates. With their assistance, the chances of rescuing Ace would be much higher this time. A few words of greeting, Jozu glanced deeply at Baizi who was talking with Whitebeard, and leaned over to Ryokugyu's side. Your captain, how strong Baizi is. As soon as Jozu's words came out, the captains of the surrounding Whitebeard pirates also listened carefully, and they were also very curious about this. Well, how strong I don't know. Ryokugyu glanced at Jozu who was instantly killed by himself, and because of his miss just now, he thought of the previous battle with Baizi. I only know that if the captain is serious, I will only be beaten. Jozu. Quote question mark exclamation mark question mark. The other captains around were stunned one by one. Even if they were as strong as Ryokugyu, they could only be beaten. Could it be that their strength was beyond their scope? A while. Moby Dick, inside the ship. Everyone gathered together and were discussing plans to rescue Ace tomorrow. Tomorrow, shall we rectify people, go to Marineford to rescue Ace, and fight Marine? Yeah, there will definitely be a tough battle tomorrow. Jozu and the other captains had solemn expressions on their faces. They knew very well that they would be dealing not only with Marine, but also with the four emperors of the New World, the King Shichibukai, and the traitor of their pirates, the sinister Blackbeard. Although they are also four emperors, they still have many worries about tomorrow's rescue plan. I have a proposal. Baizi said something, and then pointed to a location on the map. This is Impel Down, not too far from Marineford. If all the prisoners in Impel Down can be released, it will definitely be a great help for tomorrow's rescue plan. After all, those murderous prisoners hated Marine. The proposal is good or not. It's just Magellan, the warden of Impel Down, but he is known as the strongest man, whose strength is comparable to Admiral. There are not many people here who can deal with that guy. Whitebeard frowned. If the prisoners in Impel Down are released, tomorrow's rescue plan will be increased by at least 30%. Continue to discuss the plan to rescue Ace tomorrow. As for Impel Down and Director Magellan, I will solve it. Baizi said with a smile, with his own calculations in his heart. Existing, if it is possible to take those people for their own use, the strength of their own ship will soar by a lot. Baizi won't stay in the Red Hair Pirates all his life, and he must prepare for his departure from the Red Hair Pirates in advance. Baizi thought so, and the expressions of the surrounding white-haired pirates looking at Baizi changed, full of gratitude and sincerity. That was Marine's Impel Down. In order to rescue their 2nd Division captain, Baizi's move was tantamount to putting himself under Marine's field of vision. Brother Baizi's kindness, I, Whitebeard, remember it. It doesn't matter if this matter is successful or not. If Brother Baizi asks for anything in the future, I, the Whitebeard Pirates, will definitely support it. Invisibly, Baizi got a huge favor from Whitebeard, which in some respects was bigger than the favor owed to the red-haired pirates. You must know that he treats Ace like his own son. Baizi can do this for Ace. As a father, how can he be indifferent? Not only Whitebeard, but also Marco Jozu, Foil Vista and others, their eyes are full of gratitude. Baizi's move can be said to be a great favor to their Whitebeard pirates. After agreeing on a strategy, it is not too late to start the action. Moby Dick, above deck. Whitebeard and Baizi looked into the distance. The breeze from the sea was blowing, and the air was very good. Brother Baizi, after today, I, Whitebeard, owe you a huge favor. I'm afraid I will never repay it in my life. As the fourth emperor, Whitebeard has been active in the New World for so long, and of course he knows what Impel Down represents. Murmured a wry smile. It's not bad to make the strongest man in the world owe a huge favor. Since it's not clear, then I owe it. Looking towards Marineford, Baizi seemed to have thought of something, and reminded him, yes. Now, you have to be careful of the big vortex spider Squard. I got news that he is likely to be provoked by a Kainu, and he will give you a fatal blow at the critical moment tomorrow. Baizi had been very sorry for Whitebeard's death in the top battle before, but now that he has the opportunity to come to the world of pirates, he must make up for his regret. Moreover, after contacting him, he found that Whitebeard is actually a good friend. At least he looks more pleasing to Whitebeard than Kaido of the Beasts and Charlotte Linlin. Okay, it's time for me to go. Baizi's figure flashed. Moonstep stepped out, and with the help of the air, he appeared on the boat with the flag of the red-haired pirates in the next moment, and drove towards the distance. Just now, Marine Rokushiki Moonstep, Baizi used it so skillfully. Marco looked at the direction Baizi's ship was leaving, and said in surprise, obviously not expecting Baizi to even know Marine Rokushiki. That guy has great ambitions. I have a feeling that little friend Baizi is most likely to become the fifth emperor of the New World. Whitebeard looked at the direction Baizi and his party were leaving. His intuition was always accurate. However, if that kid can really become the fifth emperor, it would be a good thing for him. Chapter 19_Drought Killed. After discussing the rescue plan, Whitebeard and his party continued to gather forces and rushed to Marineford to rescue Ace tomorrow. As for Whitebeard, they took Fujitora Isho and Ryokugyu to Marine's largest prison, Impel Down. Director Magellan, the highest officer of the deep-sea prison Impel Down, is also the king of Impel Down, known as the strongest man in the prison, and his strength is even more powerful than that of the other two major institutions. The Ennis Lobby Ennis Hall CP9 and the highest combat power of the Marine headquarters is the same level as the three Admiral. He is a person with the ability of the poisonous fruit of Paramesha. His body is extremely poisonous, and he can even form a poisonous dragon to pounce on the enemy. Anyone who is contaminated by it will be tortured for a long time, and then die. Even his cloth is afraid to approach him, because the air he breathes is extremely poisonous. The entire Impel Down has 6 levels, namely, Gurren Hell, Demon Hell, Hunger Hell, Scorching Hell, Extreme Cold Hell, and the 6th Unmanned Hell. Each level is far beyond what people can bear. The stronger the ability. According to the information from Whitebeard, that is, yesterday, the Marine headquarters transferred Fire Fist Ace to Marineford, which shows how reassured the Marine headquarters is about Impel Down. After all, there is no one comparable to Marine Admiral. Fighting Force Guard. Others may not know, but Baizi knows very well that in addition to Fire Fist Ace, Shichibukai Jinbei, Crocodile and others are the prisoners on the 6th floor. Besides liberating the prisoners in Impel Down this time, Baizi also has his own selfishness, that is, taking these vicious criminals for his own use. As for the so-called resistance, in the face of absolute strength, all resistance is weak. When Baizi was thinking about Impel Down, not far from the sea, a black pirate ship approached, Kaido of the Beast's Mammoth. That's right. It's the Mammoth, Drought Jack's ship. The opposite Drought Jack also saw Baizi. His eyes could not help but gleam with anger, and this person made him the laughingstock of the New World. Boy Baizi, take your life. Drought Jack, this person is here. Just as Ryokugyu was about to make a move, he saw that Fujitora Isho beside him had disappeared, stepped on the Marine Rokushiki Moonstep by Professor Shirazawa, came into the air, and attacked Drought Jack who was attacking on the opposite side. Open black lens bracket Fist of Gravity close black lens bracket. Before that, Ryokugyu and Shirazawa could not help fighting, and Fujitora Isho also fought a lot. After all, both of them have the gravity fruit. Fujitora Isho felt even more deeply when they communicated, and at the same time, he respected Baizi in his heart. And this fist of gravity came from Baizi's explanation, and he created his own moves, completely getting rid of the shortcomings of fighting with a samurai sword in the past. Suddenly surpassing the fist of extreme gravity, before Drought Jack could react, Fujitora Isho punched Drought Jack directly in the abdomen. Drought Jack, one of the 3 disasters of Kaido of the Beasts, turned into a cannonball and slammed into the pirate ship Mammoth. Open black lens bracket gravity suppression close black lens bracket. Fujitora Isho landed on the Mammoth, and the samurai sword in his hand pointed at Drought Jack's mouth. The gravity of the nearby air suddenly increased. Under the overweight air, many of Drought Jack's henchmen and subordinates all smashed to the ground with a thud. Wow! Drought Jack, who was at the starting point of overweight, immediately sprayed out a mouthful of red blood. His eyes were full of horror and disbelief. Impossible, how is it possible? Who are you? Drought Jack couldn't believe that he was defeated, but it was Fujitora Isho's mouth coldly. Old man, Fujitora Isho. Fujitora Isho. Drought Jack was stunned for a moment, then seemed to think of something, and his eyes fell on Fujitora Isho. You are the traitor of that marine, Fujitora. Open black lens bracket gravity turbulence close black lens bracket. Drought Jack finished speaking, a cold light flashed in Fujitora's eyes, and the gravitational turbulence instantly swallowed Drought Jack, and then spread to the entire Mammoth. Boom! A loud noise, the Mammoth, including Drought Jack, was not spared. Even the Mammoth was strangled by Fujitora Isho's gravity turbulence and smashed into pieces. After a short while, it was swallowed by many sea kings and quickly digested. Only the air was filled with a faint bloody smell. Nothing more. Drought Jack is looking for his own death. The traitor just now violated Fujitora's bottom line. Only in this rage, gravity turbulence wiped out Drought Jack's entire group, including the Mammoth. This in Fujitora's combat power. If he couldn't reach this level under his own training, then this Fujitora Isho wouldn't deserve to be an admiral. I drop. Fujitora, your strength has become so strong. Ryokugyu's eyes widened, his eyes filled with disbelief. The two knew each other too well. It's all the captain's credit. Fujitora Isho stepped back to Baizi's side again, guarding Baizi's safety like a knight, although Baizi didn't need protection at all. Captain, I want to become stronger. I want to become as strong as Fujitora. Ryokugyu is full of excitement. He has a paranoid pursuit of power, and it can even be said to be a perverted obsession. Seeing Fujitora, who was not on a par with him before, how could he not be moved? Fujitora saw Ryokugyu's appearance. The corners of his mouth twitched, thinking that he would stop for a long time in the future. Don't worry, as my deputy captain, my strength is too poor. I'll find you a devil fruit to eat when I go to Impel Down this time. Baizi thought of the plan in his mind, and said to Ryokugyu, relying solely on his strength you can fight against the previous Fujitora. If you add the power of the devil fruit, you can imagine. Devil fruit, that's very powerful, I can smash it with one punch. Ryokugyu clenched his fist and looked at Baizi suspiciously. However, as for the Kuro Star and the red-haired pirates on the ship, their eyes were straight, and they stared blankly at the calm sea again. Motherfucker. Who I am, where am I? Drought Jack, one of Kaido of the Beasts, 3 confidants, Drought Jack is dead. And they were killed by their co-captain. My god, if this news spreads, Kaido of the Beasts will be mad. Could it be that the captain has already found the devil fruit for Ryokugyu? Fujitora Isho asked a rare question, and he was also very interested in the devil fruit that Ryokugyu was about to devour. That's right, Ryokugyu is comparable to Admiral in strength alone. If you add the poisonous fruit of Impel Down, known as the strongest man in the prison, that explosive power. The strongest man in the prison, could it be Impel Down Director Magellan? Thinking of this, Ryokugyu's eyes flashed with dazzling light, His fists were only clenched. Fujitora's face was also solemn. As for Kuro Star and others, when they heard Baizi's words, their scalps felt numb. Captain, this is the rhythm of killing Impel Down Director Magellan and taking his poisonous fruit, crazy. Chapter 20 _ This person's name is Ryokugyu. Impressive air is brimming with energy, and a circular steel prison stands on the sea. Around the panopticon, there is a circle of marine warships, which are heavily guarded, and searchlights patrol every few seconds. It can be said that if you want to rescue a person here, it is better than going to the sky in Hainan. Except for the previous captain of the Flying Sky pirate ship, Shiki of the Golden Lion pirates escaped at the price of one leg for the fluttering fruit, and no one has escaped from here. You know that not everyone is the captain of the flight control pirates. Shiki used to be named after Galdi Roger and Whitebeard Edward Newgate. It is filled with various facilities, such as giant elevators, medical examinations, surveillance phone bugs and surveillance rooms, torture rooms, execution platforms. The plague leading to Impel Down is a suspension bridge between two copper walls and iron walls, and there is no second way to enter Impel Down. Psi tilde tilde. Impel Down is in front. We really going to jail Impel Down tilde. The many subordinates of the red-haired pirates turned their calves around, and when they reached the Impel Down, everyone felt the endless coercion coming from the front. Haha, Captain, I'll take the lead. Fighting maniac Ryokugyu, a charge that he learned from Shirazawa, shaved in Moonstep, used one after another, and instantly burst into the heavily guarded Impel Down. No, enemy attack. Everyone is locked, the target is in the air. Too fast to lock on, damn it. Dozens of warships outside Impel Down stared blankly at Ryokugyu as if a cannonball hit Impel Down. With a loud roar, with one punch, Impel Down's specially designed thick walls, and even the prison walls mixed with sea stone, he was directly smashed by the green punch, which was more than 5 feet cold. Woo tilde 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 tilde. The city wall of Impel Down was smashed, and a high-pitched red siren sounded over the entire Impel Down, instantly covering the entire Impel Down. Kuro Star and others on the pirate ship looked in the direction of Impel Down, and they were all dumbfounded. I'm good, this is the stance of a strong attack. It's just that the Impel Down wall is so fragile that Ryokugyu's punch directly slammed his heart into it. If this idea is known to Marine of Impel Down, he might jump out of the theory. Meow, here and there, the walls of their Impel Down are fragile, it's clearly that Ryokugyu's strength is too strong. Bastard, lock the intruder for me, open. The person in charge of Marine outside Impel Down, with red eyes, if the warden blamed him, he would have to peel off his skin even if he didn't die. However, Ryokugyu slammed another punch and slammed straight towards the Impel Down prison before the Marine director's order was issued. The Impel Down prison was immediately smashed and smashed. Presumptuous. Who dares to invade my Marine Impel Down? Courting death. Impel Down guards Shiryu of Chengyu in a black uniform. Before he appeared in the mouth with a cigar in his mouth, what caught his eye was Ryokugyu, who saw Moonstep standing in the air. Who are you? Shiryu of Rain's face was ashen, and his body was full of evil spirits. However, the deputy guard beside him, wearing sunglasses and domino with long curly hair, opened his red lips, and his eyes flashed with horror. It's him. Domino's pretty face turned pale for a moment. She knew something about Ryokugyu's information. According to the news from the Marine headquarters, this person was one of the default Admiral candidates. You know him. Seeing Domino's abnormal expression, Shiryu, the guard of Chengyu, asked with a slight frown. He still knew about Domino. Ryokugyu, this person's name is Ryokugyu, is one of the Admiral candidates that the Marine headquarters has been paying attention to before, but on the second day of the Marine headquarters, he was recruited by Baizi, the 14th cadre of the Red Hair Pirates. Said Ryokugyu's identity. When Shiryu of the Rain heard this, he was shocked, but he was overjoyed. He is the Admiral candidate Ryokugyu who was secretly noticed by the Marine headquarters. Very good. Shiryu of the Rain gleamed brightly in his eyes. If he took down this person here, he would definitely have achieved a great achievement. Bold Ryokugyu, let's not say betray Marine. Now you dare to break into me Impel Down. Let's see if I won't take you down and hand it over to Marshal Sengoku. Shiryu of Rain, who has always been bloodthirsty, and because this person is of great value, immediately attacked Ryokugyu with his amazing swordsmanship. Be careful. The stunned Domino saw Shiryu of the Rain shoot directly, and his pretty face turned white again. This Shiryu of the Rain was too careless. The other party was also a candidate for the grand prize anyway. Impel Down has already explained everything. The boy has the guts. Ryokugyu saw Shiryu of the Rain make a direct shot, and his eyes lit up immediately. This move was in a positive way. Looking at the swordsmanship that shrouded him, Ryokugyu didn't make any fancy moves, and slammed it with a punch. Kacha tilde. Without the slightest stagnation, the swordsmanship of Shiryu of Rain's peak blow was directly smashed by Ryokugyu's punch, and even the samurai sword behind Shiryu of Rain was smashed to pieces. Then, Ryokugyu smashed Shiryu's mouth with a punch, and immediately sunk into it, and was instantly smashed by Ryokugyu. Blood is in the air. Very conspicuous. The power of one punch is so terrifying. The head guard of Impel Down, Shiryu of Rain, was punched to death by Ryokugyu. Domino was so frightened that his face changed color, and he staggered back again and again, directly back to the base of the wall. His cap fell to the ground, and stared blankly at the body of Shiryu of the Rain thrown by Ryokugyu. Sekel. How come? Ryokugyu's strength is stronger than the legend. Although Shiryu of Rain is not Ryokugyu's opponent, but in Domino's cognition, it is definitely not to the point of instant kill. A swipe. When Domino came back to his senses, two people appeared in front of her again, and she had the urge to faint when she saw them. Baizi, the 14th officer of the red-haired pirates. Marine Rear Admiral Fujitora Isho. Seeing the two Domino's mouths open, they couldn't believe the two people who appeared in front of them. They were so bold and attacked Impel Down openly. Is the red hair crazy? Impel Down, 4th basement floor. Searing Hell, Office of Prison Director Magellan. Department. Director, something bad happened. Someone passed through the outer marine defense and invaded Impel Down. Hannibal reported with a terrified expression. Huh. When Magellan heard it, a blue poisonous gas escaped from his breath. Hannibal hurriedly held his breath. He could not resist Magellan's disgusting poisonous gas. Soon the two came to the phone bug monitoring room, and when they saw the surveillance screen, Hannibal's expression changed. The red-haired 14th cadre Baizi, and the Marine Rear Admiral traitor Ryokugyu who was recruited by him a few days ago, and Fujitora Isho, quote, the 14th cadre of the red-haired pirates, and two marine traitors. Because of this, they also want to attack me Impel Down, courting death. The poisonous gas around Magellan spread out uncontrollably, and Hannibal and many of his men in the monitoring room all retreated, for fear of being contaminated by it. Staring at the screen in the monitoring room, Magellan's mouth twitched into a sinister arc. Since it's here, let's take it as a gift for Marineford to execute Ace Tilde.